Everyone, good evening, good evening. Welcome everyone to Debate the News on this Monday morning, man, the 25th of February. Man, oh man, the time 24th of February, excuse me, time's going by fast. So, guys, we got a hot one tonight, man, because the actions that happened in the UN today has many people thinking like, what's going on with the U.S. policy when we decided to vote with North Korea, Belarus, and Russia. Never ever thought we'd see the day when that happened. So we're gonna have a really, really spicy topic tonight. Is Trump a spy? And is Putin in charge of U.S. policy, folks? So hey guys, do me a favor. Make sure you guys are sharing the room. Make sure you guys are letting everyone know we're live. Hey, if you're listening to us on a podcast and you want to join us, you can join us at Chatter Social. You can download the Chatter Social app at the Google Play Store as well as the Apple App Store, guys. But hey, more importantly, guys, make sure you guys are coming in here. We start approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Looking forward to seeing you guys, man. Welcome to Debate the News, man, because we got a lot to debate, so we're not going to keep this thing going. Excited to be here, folks. Let's get this thing started. Wow, folks. Hey, guys, good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Debate the News. I'm excited to be here. Wow. We got a hot one tonight, man. There's a lot that's happening in the world, as always, with my man Donald John Trump and just this new administration and everything that's happening. But today it was interesting because, the UN had a vote as to condemn, condemning the actions of Russia in Ukraine. And believe it or not, there were only four states, countries, when I say states, that actually voted and supported, against this resolution. And those four nations, guys, out there, I don't know. Three of them is considered to be the darkest nations here. Belarus, okay, which has a dictator strongman that is pretty much controlled by Putin, voted against it. Russia voted against it. Okay. North Korea voted against it as well. And guess what else, folks? Believe it or not, the United States voted against it. So when you think about that, man, I never thought that I see the day when the United States votes against all of its allies and side with North Korea, Belarus. Guys, Belarus is horrible. Okay, North Korea is horrible. And Russia. So it got people wondering, like, hey, everything that, someone said everything that Trump has done so far, it's what Russia would have wanted him to do, is what they're saying, and a lot of different policies. And I'm going to get into it. I don't want to jump into it right now, but I just want to, is Trump a Russian spy? And we did this probably about 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. We did the same topic, and I never thought I'd be doing it again so soon. So with that being said, folks, we're going to jump right into it. My man, Skald. Skald, are you here, Skald?
I'm here, Jonathan.
How you feeling, man? Skald, are you here?
I'm here, Jonathan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, good.
So, Skald, what do you think about that topic?
Well, here's what I think. You want me to just go ahead and get started here?
No, we can get started. I want to know what you think about the topic before you jump into your Dateline.
Well, I think that this story's been hanging over Trump's head for a long time, right? And this latest allegation is a long line of accusers that have come out and said that this might be true. And I just think it's insane, right? I mean, here's a man who's 78 years old. As a child, he probably had to do bomb drills when he was in school, right? Get under, duck and cover. The idea that someone who was doing this could not understand why Russia is America's enemy. I mean, you had nuke drills in your childhood. What are you doing? It's crazy. I land on that one.
Wow. Okay. So, obviously, you have strong feelings. So, give us a Dateline, if you will.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and fire it up here. First, I'm going to say something that's a little off topic. Dan Bongino is now the deputy director of the FBI. This is a former right wing podcaster who is now running one of our nation's premier intelligence, counterterrorism divisions, and cybersecurity divisions, right? The Federal Bureau of Investigation. He was once quoted in saying, "The only thing that matters is power, checks and balances." That's a good one. That's pretty much a direct quote from his podcast. You can look it up. You can see him saying that. Does this guy really
He
have
was
any
a Secret
idea
Service
of
agent, you
America
fucking moron.
that
No, no,
smart?
Rob, we're doing a Dateline. We're doing a Dateline.
Oh, you can talk
Yeah,
about
you did.
his you can talk about his 10 years of being a presidential bodyguard. Does that qualify you to be a deputy director of a high-level intelligence organization?
Yes,
Come
it.
on. He's a glorified bodyguard, buddy, and he wrote a little book. Okay, now on to the next thing. The most recent accusation comes from a man named Alinor Musavani. He's the head of security in Kazakhstan. He defected to Austria. He was an agent at the 6th Department of the KGB in charge of acquiring spies from 1986 to 1988. And he is alleging that Trump was a known Russian asset at the time, going by the name Kosanov, meaning the Red One. And he is saying this openly. You cannot find this on the American internet. It's been scrubbed from Facebook. It's been scrubbed from Reddit. It's been scrubbed from Twitter. But you can find it on the Irish Times, the Hindu Times, the British Times. Pretty much every other democracy on earth is running this story except for our democracy. Kind of interesting. And then finally, let's talk about this vote. Yes, we voted against peace and denouncing Russia. We voted with Belarus, North Korea, Eritrea. If you don't know about Eritrea, they're a dictatorship so brutal you've probably never even heard of them. And Russia. The people that voted against this, Serbia, they've been simping for Russia since before some of you guys were born. They love Russia. They voted against this. Here are the people that abstained. China abstained. Iran, death to America, Iran abstained from this vote. I mean, come on. Iran has been selling Shahed drones to the Russians to bomb the Ukrainians, and even they abstained from this vote. This is an absolute joke, folks. It looks like there's a new axis of evil, and we're in it. Okay, end of my dateline.
Absolutely, I appreciate that, Rob. Man, oh man, I mean, I appreciate that coming to you, Skull. Skull, that was wow, that's a good one, guys. Is that the Patriot Rob? Is he still here? Does he have a Dateline he want to contribute? Patriot Rob, do you have a Dateline that you'd like to contribute? All right. So let me before I move on to the business Dateline, wow. Those are some pretty strong accusations you made there during the Dateline, and some really good information there. And I want to give it a moment before we go to the business Dateline. I want to. Anyone want to respond, Snarky Puppy? Anyone wants to respond to anything you guys just heard from Skull?
Let somebody respond to this, please, and then I'll add some clarifying comments.
May I?
All right. So good.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everybody. So, I don't think that he's a spy. Maybe, but I'm not sure. So, but he's an ally to Putin, I believe. Uh, Putin is not communist. Russia is not Soviet Union. It's different from Soviet Union, and I believe that Putin is a hidden fascist now. And Alexander Dugin, his ideologue, is kind of like openly fascist. And Trump is kind of hidden fascist to me. So we have seen many evidence of that. Yeah. So actually, they are kind of like they have same ideology. They have they are both hidden agenda, and they are actually supporting, both of them are supporting the same like ultra-right hidden fascists in Europe, like um, Elon Musk openly supported the like a ultra-right party in Germany, and they actually won 20% of the votes. So this is kind of obvious. Yeah, we can actually see the reason for almost all of his action if we consider this aspect of the reality. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Go ahead, TC. You about to jump in?
Yeah, I had a chance to kind of read up just a little bit. I'm not too read into the situation specifically, but what I understand was left out of the Dateline was the fact that shortly after that failed vote on that UN resolution, the U.S. promoted it, put forward its own resolution to the UN, and that resolution was roundly accepted, which was a general resolution promoting the idea of restoring peace in the region. Um, Another thing that wasn't mentioned by Skald during his dateline is the fact that the resolution was proposed by Ukraine itself. Nobody in their right mind in the middle of negotiations, especially as an arbiter of negotiations, of which I've been an arbiter of negotiations many times, would show his hand and show any type of um, preference for a specific body or vote in favor of a specific body for a controversy that's before you. So America's doing the right thing. America's doing what it should do, which is stay out of these petty feuds that exist in the UN that have no teeth whatsoever. It bears 0% on the negotiation. Why would America muddy its strong position as the arbiter and the negotiator by siding with Ukraine in its resolution on the UN? The UN is a paper tiger. It doesn't do anything. It puts forward resolutions to create political folly for media outlets to run with, and for political shills like you, Jonathan, and this guy Skald to put in front of us is like, you know, red meat for people to sink their teeth into, but it means nothing. Actually, it's counterproductive to the negotiating, because what will happen is America is going to put down the terms for why both sides could come to the table, and that's going to have more teeth, more legitimate than any UN resolution that could be put together by political political scientists in a back room somewhere. So I think America's doing the right thing. I'm happy to debate anybody that says otherwise, but no, America should not be promoting performative actions in the UN just to satisfy some people on the left that wants to score political points.
Absolutely. Look, guys, here, let me give some clarifying statements about what TC just said, okay? Um, America has always taken positions, okay, and let its position be known during these types of not even negotiations, these UN hearings, okay, and resolution these votes. All right. And they didn't remain neutral. They didn't abstain from the vote. They actually voted. Okay. And they voted with Russia. So when when he said what he just said, I think it was disingenuous at best because, if they didn't want to be biased, appear biased, they would have abstained. But they decided not to abstain. They decided to go with the other three countries. I don't think our politics, our humanity, or anything that we have aligns with North Korea. Okay, they don't. They certainly don't align with Belarus. Okay, and they don't align with Russia. So to go and there's only those are the only three nations that voted. Okay, against the resolution, and the reason it failed is because there's permanent members of the Security Council seat. Okay, United States and Russia. So don't say it failed because there's more than enough votes if they were looking at the number of votes. But when you have a permanent member of the Security Council vote against it, it's going to fail. That's what happens. All right, so that's just some rules out there. If you guys don't know what those rules are, just want to make sure you guys understand those rules. But my brother Storm, are you here? Storm, are you here?
Jonathan, let me respond to that real
No, no,
quickly.
one second. Storm, are you here? Storm going twice. All
No,
right,
Storm.
so okay,
Storm.
okay. One second, TC. I know how to do this. Okay, appreciate you. All right. So yeah, so go ahead. I'll let you respond really quickly, and then we're
No,
gonna
you
go ahead
won't. No,
open
you
up.
won't. You're dying inside. You wouldn't allow me to respond. You know why? Because you're wrong, Jonathan. Guess what? Would you say we have something in common with Israel? Because guess what? Israel took that vote against Ukraine. Huh?
What are you
What?
talking about?
What I'm talking about?
Israel actually did not vote against Ukraine.
Israel did vote against Ukraine.
No, no, it didn't. It was four other members. It was
Among the
four
18
people.
countries that voted against Ukraine's resolution were Russia, the United States, Israel, Hungary, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Niger.
Yeah.
Israel did vote against it, Jonathan. He is
Holy
correct here.
shit!
1 second. All right. So Belarus. Okay, Belarus. Once again, Israel voted against. Okay, no problem. Israel did vote against it. Okay, Belarus.
But listen, that's neither here nor there. Let me
No,
just
no, no,
explain something to
no,
you.
no, no.
Like, you can,
Because once
oh, now,
again,
no, no, no. Wait,
let's go back to the
Jonathan.
EU nations, the European nations,
Wait, no,
our
no, no. Let's
allies.
not go back to the EU nations.
Israel
Let's stay
voted
with
against
Israel.
it
That
more
was my
likely
point in the
because
first
the
place,
United States
Jonathan.
voted against it.
Hold on. Let's not go back to the EU nations because now what I just brought out completely desecrated your entire position earlier.
No, it didn't actually.
What
No, it
does
didn't.
America have in common with Iran? What does America have in common with all these countries? Like,
Iran
uh,
abstained.
Jonathan,
Iran abstained. They abstained.
Jonathan, what does America have in common with Israel? Okay, Israel also voted against the resolution. Let me explain something to you, Jonathan. Again, the performative shit might work in the media, but for serious minds that are actually interested at getting things done, people that have involved interest in the conflict, they're not interested in the performative shit, right? Israel is another democracy, one of the only major U.S. allies in the Middle
Bro,
East.
you.
And
Okay,
now
there you
you're going to
go.
tell me that Israel is, I guess, a Russian spy as well? Is that what you're
No,
going
no,
for,
no.
Jonathan?
Actually, Israel is in the process of convincing Trump to take over the Gaza Strip. All right. All right. So, and I did this a little earlier, and I don't know how to skip my mind because I was looking at something totally different.
Israel is in the process of
Israel is in the
America,
process
the
of
government of
getting
Gaza Strip.
Trump to take over the Gaza Strip.
That sounds like some Putin spy shit to me.
No,
How the hell is
actually,
America going to take over the Gaza Strip,
Let me just say right
Jonathan?
here. Israel is in the process of trying to convince Trump to take
Hey,
over
I
the
got
Gaza
something
Strip.
for you. I
No, no,
think
one second.
Jonathan's
No,
a
no, no, bro. While I'm
I think
talking,
Jonathan's a KGB spy.
While I'm talking, bro. 1 second, TC. This is how it goes. All right, bro. I'm gonna let you talk. Don't interrupt. Okay. Then I talk. Okay. Don't do that, bro. So once again, Israel is in the process of trying to convince Trump to take over the Gaza Strip, which no one here thinks is a good idea. Okay. So Israel, all right, is Israel themselves is being trying once people want to quote unquote invade Israel, take over Israel. That's what all the fighting is about because they don't think Israel should exist. For Israel to vote against, okay, the Ukraine resolution is in their own self interest. All right, within itself. All right. So given what they're going through right now, so just doesn't make sense. But go ahead
I
because I
think
want to move this around. Since we don't have another dateline, I want to go ahead and move this around.
I'm sure you do, Jonathan. I mean, when I was getting my ass whooped, I wanted to get out of the room too, like as quick.
TC, that's not what we're doing right now,
Oh, my
TC.
bad, my
We're on a
bad.
podcast right now,
My,
okay? Because I can come at you hard, okay?
you can't. You know why? Because the facts are not on your side,
The
Jonathan.
actual facts are on my
The
side.
facts are not on your side.
All right, 1 second. Let's keep this thing moving. Guys, look, we're going to have the debate back and forth, okay? But in the podcast, while we're doing the podcast, okay, we're going to have it respectfully. All right, that's what we're going to do. So anyone else wants to jump in, come on, jump in.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna just go
Well,
ahead
I
and jump
mean,
in real quick, man. All I want
Putin's
is
no
the
Russian agent.
hold
Putin's
on,
a
hold
Russian
on, one
agent.
second, TC. One second. Storm, my man in the house. We're gonna
Oh,
get
there
to
you
you
go,
right now.
Storm. Storm, are you
Absolutely.
ready for your dateline?
Yeah, Storm.
Oh,
Nah,
no, so he's not
he
ready for a
said nah.
dateline.
But
Okay, go ahead.
listen,
Go ahead.
what I want to know is show correlate it for me, please. what is it right now that you have that you say, okay, this is the evidence that I have that I can say Trump is potentially a Russian spy? That's what I'm asking for.
Actually, once again, this is an open question for discussion. So
Well, you
I'll
know what?
give.
Not for you. Okay, well, not for you personally. Well, just for the stage, if you don't mind. I'll just throw that out there for the people who may believe this. Please show me something, or just bring something to the table that you have that says, you know what, this is why he can be looked at that way, or whatever you want to. Just give me something.
Well, I think the UN.
Crickets,
I mean,
crickets,
the
crickets.
UN
Oh,
vote by itself is pretty indefensible.
exactly.
I mean the right, they're missing in action right now. How are you going to defend a vote like that? I mean, you did a good attempt there, TC, saying, "Oh, we got to stay neutral as arbiters." Well, guess what? That's why the category of abstaining it exists in votes, right? We could have abstained. We didn't have to vote for it and against the Ukraine, right? We could have just abstained. That looks neutral. You abstained. Instead, we went out of our way to vote with this sort of new axis of evil. And how are you going to defend that?
And that's proof right there of Russian. Like, listen, man, they tried this bullshit back in 2016 when they tried to say that Trump was a Russian agent. They had all these dumbass investigations, and you Democrats still couldn't prove shit. So I'm not going to listen to this that he's a Russian agent again. Maybe he wants world peace, and Zelensky and the European Union and NATO and the world and the powers that be, they want to escalate this thing because obviously they're making money. BlackRock is heavily involved here. Okay, there's obviously a lot of people making money here, and this thing doesn't. They don't want this to end. But meanwhile, people are dying, and we're playing with fire because this is. We can't forget this is the second most powerful nation in the world, and they have the most nuclear bombs in the world, and they
Who,
have the
who,
most
who's
modernized
the
nuclear
second most
power.
powerful nation in the
I'm
world?
sorry. Yeah, yeah. Run that back. Who's first?
Russia,
No, I want to
America's
know who's the second.
Hold on, America's first, Russia is second, but Russia has a modernized
Russia,
nuclear.
Russia's not second, bro.
Yeah, it is.
What?
Yeah, it is.
China by a wide margin, man. I mean, Russia's getting their ass handed to them by Ukraine. They weren't
No,
able to get tanks into Kiev. That's like not being able to get tanks from, like, I don't know,
Wait,
Montclair, New Jersey to New York City. I mean, it's like literally a 40-mile drive. Come
I
on.
think that's crazy, man. Like,
did the guy just say Russia is more powerful than China, bro?
yeah, I mean, they for their for the way they fight because right now China, man, the way they fight. Okay, China's definitely close, but China, the way they fight,
Close.
guys, I'm trying to fucking talk. I don't need someone over talking me, but China and the way they fight, they don't coordinate. They don't have like a unified command where they have their air force and their navy and their ground forces communicate. They still don't have a centralized command structure, and so
What do
they're
you
not.
mean?
They're not. They're not, dude. They're not. Listen, that's a very secretive nation. You don't
You're
even know.
saying that they don't have communications, and they've been
Well,
still
they
on
don't.
iPhone
They
technology and
hold
other
on,
other
hold on.
technology you have for decades, but they
Look,
don't
we
have
get this guy
communications,
free
bro.
chicken right now.
they tend they tend to uh, uh, have competition
Who's
instead of
speaking? Who's
coordinating.
speaking? By the way, you're on the other
Mountain
platform. Who's speaking?
This is Mountain Lee. This is Mountain Lee. So.
Who?
This is Mountain Lee.
Mountain Lee. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You sound like you've been in the mountain for a while, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying, man, that like the fact of the matter is Russia is a powerful nation. I don't care what you all say. You can try to stray me off, but we're playing with fire, escalating this thing, and so I have pictures, I have proof that we went now it wasn't a signed agreement, but in with Russians and stuff, like if you make an agreement, even a verbal agreement, you stand by it. And we made a verbal agreement with Russia that we would not expand NATO past east, but we kept on doing that. In 1997, we kept on doing that. We kept on expanding NATO, and even after the Soviet Union, collapsed, which the reason why NATO was even made was to counter the Soviet Union. We just kept on expanding it, and it became a business instead of a real protection thing, And so, and you could even look at it. Really, NATO was kind of a business, and so this whole thing in Ukraine could have been avoided, but instead, America chose to. escalate it and prod and keep on expanding. I think that, and if we would have had Donald Trump in office, we wouldn't have had this thing. We had when Obama was in office, the Russians saw that he was weak and they invaded Crimea. And then when Donald Trump was in office, nothing happened. Then Joe Biden gets in office and they invade, Ukraine. And so there's just weak leadership going on, and what we got to do is really stop this war. No matter what, we have to stop this war, because Ukraine, even if Europe just sent a bunch of new, money there, it doesn't matter. They don't have the manpower to evict Russia. And Russia's got nearly 25% of the country, and they're not stopping. They have the
That's not true.
manpower to
They
do
don't
it.
have nearly 25% of the country. That's not true.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Well, what
No,
the
they don't.
fuck? Why don't you fact check me, because I can right now. It's about 20%. What is it? 23%. That's close to a quarter of the country.
20%. It's about 20%. Okay, it's not
So 20.
25%.
So
Okay,
20. So
and
that's pretty
let's
damn close.
hold on one second, because that's huge. Okay, and that includes Crimea. That includes Crimea. So let's not act as if they yeah, guys, we're doing too much on camera. We're doing way too much on camera. All
Quick
right.
little, quick little, quick little. I'm just gonna say this. You saying Russia doesn't have most of Ukraine, bro? Russia has the entire east side of Ukraine where most of the oil is. They own it all.
They
They've
don't own
annexed
anything.
all of that.
Okay, that's not true. Let me jump in. First of all, let's do this right here. Okay, you said there's an agreement. All right, and Russia is upset because we didn't honor agreement. There was never agreement. There were talks. Okay, and and that was it. Nothing else. But there was an agreement called the Belarus Accords. Okay, where they spoke with Ukraine. They told Ukraine, hey, if you give up the nuclear weapons, okay, United States, Russia, okay, UK, and others will defend you should you
That's
ever be
not true.
attacked. So
That's
they
not
gave
true.
up their nuclear
No,
weapons.
that's not true,
All
Jonathan.
right,
We
they
can
gave
look
up.
up
One second, one
Jonathan.
second. Don't interrupt me. I didn't interrupt you. I let you go for a while. Okay, that's how we do it here. We let people talk. All right, and then you can interrupt for something important, but you're just going to be something dumb. I can tell. All right. So what I'm telling you is this right here. The Belarus Accords, okay, where we agree to defend them if they give up the nuclear weapon. Russia had no business attacking them at all because of the fact that we did. Russia agreed to protect them if they gave up their nuclear weapons, and that's exactly what they did. All right, so let's be clear. When you're saying something about an agreement, it was that agreement was broken, and they weren't coming into Ukraine. I mean, into the NATO. They weren't. All right, they weren't coming into NATO. And the last thing I want to say is this right here. You positioned the United States, the EU, and NATO. You positioned all three of them as the aggressor and troublemakers. You lost me there, okay? Because, the
No, we
whole world
don't do it that
doesn't
way.
see it that way. The whole world doesn't see it that way. All right. Only matter of fact, up until recently, only a few countries, okay, saw it that way. And the United States certainly didn't see it that way. All right. So, and that's why we sent $65 billion over there because we didn't see it that way. So, my friend, I'm listening to you. It seems like a lot of you guys have become Putin apologists. All right. Putin kills his enemies, his adversaries, the people that goes up against him. Putin kills. All right. Putin doesn't negotiate. He kills. He murders them. All right. But yet you guys are saying that Putin's a good guy. All right. So no, there's no way we should be side with Putin on anything. I
I'm not
land.
saying he's the I think you're wrong. I'm not saying he's the good guy, but we're definitely not the good. I'm not saying he's a good guy, but we're
What am
definitely
I
not the
wrong
good
about? You just said I
guy.
was wrong.
Jonathan,
Could I ask a question,
I
Jonathan?
just told
Yeah, I
I
you.
know.
want to
One
ask.
second.
I just
One second.
fucking
The gentleman
told
said I
you.
was
Okay.
wrong. I want to make
You just
sure that
interrupted me for
he
interrupting
has
you,
shared
and
some.
now you're interrupting me. So what the fuck is a double standard? I thought I
Hey,
could talk.
guys, let's get rid of him, please. CH, get rid of him.
Go ahead, dickhead. Well,
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
I
I
just
appreciate
want
it.
to ask. I just want to ask Jonathan a
Go
question.
ahead. Let's go.
Okay, so you're saying Putin kills people. We shouldn't be on his side. So I want to ask you: are you on Israel's side?
Yes, I'm 100% on Israel's side.
Oh yeah, I got to get up out of this room. You tripping, bro?
Well, you're not
Absolutely.
on Israel's side because Israel voted against the
Okay.
resolution, Jonathan. So you can't be
Okay.
on Israel's side. Because if that's the case, then you'd have the same.
TC,
You'd have
we're not
the
arguing
same
about Israel.
Israel.
I answered the question. Okay, and that's a totally different situation.
Jonathan, this is debate the news,
But
bro. If we're gonna
okay,
debate,
okay,
debate. Don't
guys,
just silence
TC.
people.
Okay, here's the thing, guys. We're going somewhere else. We're not talking about Israel right now and Palestine. That's a whole new thing. Once we open up that Israel and Palestine, and once again, you're gonna respect the moderator. Okay, only thing I'm doing is trying to be fair. I want everyone. I'm trying to open up for everyone to speak. But you just spoke, TC. Respectfully, I want to give other people an opportunity to speak before we go back to you. That's what we're doing right now. We're making our rounds, and I shouldn't have to explain that publicly. But go ahead. Who else wants to jump in?
Then, you know, you're saying we're on Putin's side. I don't think anybody in the United States, including Trump, likes Putin. I don't think that was ever the case.
Okay.
Just like we don't like, you know, Kim Jong Un. Nobody likes that little rocket guy. Matter of fact, I remember Trump making fun of him. However, if we're going to exist in a peaceful world, we have to have some sort of diplomacy and some sort of agreement. And basically, what we have seen for the past 3 years, which you will agree, we're going on a 3 year anniversary of a war that hasn't been resolved. I don't want to talk about Israel because I'm not too, you know, you guys have much more than that. I'm not even going to talk about Russia because, look, I'm not the guy who's over there knowing what's going on. Here's what we're seeing as the American people. What we're seeing is we have sent a lot of money over there. Ukraine is not kicking Russia's ass. We are kicking Russia's ass. You know why? Because we're funding the majority of Ukraine. And guess what? Europe is also kicking Russia's ass. So if you're saying that Ukraine could have done this all alone and you're giving them ownership for somewhat victory when they have 20% of their land taken by Russia, and you're saying what Russia is getting weaker, there should be an easy resolution. It should have already been solved under the Biden regime. But frankly, it wasn't. And you know, you're going to say I say stupid shit. The fact is, we all need this war to end, including BlackRock, because BlackRock wants to go in and go rebuild Ukraine. That's what their contracts are for. Everybody knows that. It's no secret. So the faster this can end, the faster BlackRock can get in and start rebuilding some other country. So why don't you want this war to end? I don't understand.
I
You
believe. Go ahead. Anyone else wants to jump in before I jump in? Anyone else
I'd
want to
like to
respond?
jump in as
I was
well.
gonna
No, no,
say
no. Anyway, one second. Anyone wants to respond to Storm? That's what I want. Anyone wants to respond to Storm?
Yes.
you guys really think
Yeah.
that BlackRock is about to take over Ukraine and rebuild against Putin? You really think that? You really think that? You crazy if you really think Putin is about to let that happen. Like the Ukrainians aren't even a nationality, bro. They're Russians. That's all Russian territory. It's been for thousands of years. That's the reality of it. Putin ain't just you invading because I want to take over a country. That's not the reality. The reality is Ukrainian is not a nationality. Just like Taiwan isn't a nationality. Like that's the facts.
Is anybody else confused or is it just me? Because
I would like for
I,
this
I
gentleman
said
to enlighten us about
that's
us.
free
We wouldn't
go
chicken.
be
ahead,
confused
Marty.
then. Could you enlighten us about yourself, sir? And we wouldn't
No,
be
no, no,
confused.
no, no.
No,
One sec.
no.
One second. You stated that we. Can you just elaborate on your point? Like, what are we missing that you know? Obviously, like, what are we missing here? I'm just trying to understand. What is your point?
You talking to me?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. I'm talking to you
What do you want me to explain?
Marty,
about yourself.
let me ask him real quick. So you're saying that Ukraine is not going to get
Bro,
rebuilt because BlackRock can't go in there because it's Russian territory. Is that what you're saying?
he said they're not a.
So what I'm saying is Ukraine is not a nationality. That's exactly what I'm saying. Ukraine is not a nationality. A Ukrainian isn't real. That is not a nationality. It
So
has never been a nationality.
okay,
Those are Russians, is what I'm saying. That's always been Russian territory. That's what I'm saying. For you to
Yeah.
think that a man who's been running a country for almost 3 decades or almost 2 decades, who is way more powerful than people think, obviously, because we want this water in, we want this water in. Why doesn't this water in? Because you're underestimating this man. He's not about to give away what's
uh,
originally his to BlackRock to come in and rebuild? That's what y'all believe, though.
Okay.
My man, here's the thing: Putin
Okay.
does not run the Ukraine. That is not Russian. That's Ukrainian. That you're thinking of the Soviet Union, my dude. I don't know really where we got off track, and I don't know really where you're getting your sourcing. But Putin does not run the Ukraine.
Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
talking about, this nationality stuff? I don't
Yeah.
get it. BlackRock is going to go in and rebuild Ukraine. Marty, please, God forbid, take this.
Dude, no, I
I'm going to
absolutely
lose my
no.
fucking
He, I
mind.
can't save. I cannot save him on this one, sir. Listen, whatever sources you got, this one right here, I just want you to know you're leading yourself down a dark hole that you are not going to be able to come out of.
Yeah.
I really can't save you, and just know fentanyl. You just need to put that fentanyl down. Let's just
Yeah.
start there, right? You know what I'm saying? Put the drugs down. Yeah.
You guys really
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
so because
absolutely.
someone tells you so because someone comes into this room and
Ah,
you like, oh, where'd you get your facts from? Where'd you get for your information from? Because I'm a reader, because I don't just listen to mainstream
you know what?
media.
You're right.
You
Enlighten us.
want to
Where
say
did you
that
get
I'm
your
on
sources
fit
from? You're
now? Like,
Now
you
absolutely
let
right.
me,
serious?
guys. No, don't go
Really?
in, Marty. Let me go, Marty. Don't talk over you. Go ahead, sir. Finish up headline.
No, that's all I was saying. Just because I'm speaking some information that you guys may have not heard, I'm on fentanyl is crazy.
Yeah,
You know,
headline. Let me just say this headline. I think your information is. Matter of fact, I know your information is inaccurate. Okay, Ukraine. Putin considers Russia to be part of the Ukraine. How because he wants to try to reconstruct the old Soviet Union.
So
Ukraine was around.
can I ask this last question? This is the last thing. This is the last thing I'm gonna
Go
say
ahead,
about
headline.
it.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
And I want y'all to respond. Storm, Marty, Jonathan, you all can respond to this, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
So is the war between Ukraine and Russia going to end, or are we really going to see World War III? Answer that question.
I can't answer that question. Okay, I would like to see it in, but once
You
again,
would like to see it. I want to know what do you think? Just throw up a
oh, what
coin
I
toss. Do you
think
think
now.
it's going
Okay,
to
okay.
end,
Now
or do you think
you're
it's going to be an
rephrasing.
all-out war?
Let me just say this right
You
here.
think Russia's going to bag out, or do you think it's going to be an all-out war? That's a simple. What do you think?
Okay, this is what I think. I think this right here. Russia's getting their ass whooped right now. The only saving grace for Russia is Donald Trump. All right, Russia was getting their ass whooped. They had over 100,000 dead soldiers. Okay, the mothers of the soldiers don't want their sons to go fight anymore. They had to bring soldiers in from North Korea. Okay, to help them fight because they didn't want the mothers don't want their sons conscripted into the military to go fight that war anymore. So Russia was getting their ass handed to them. Their tanks were pieces of shit. Their tanks were being destroyed. They were using $15,000 drones to kill to take down their most sophisticated information equipment. So right now, Putin really doesn't have anything to stand on. Okay, he's getting a mercy call from Trump is what he's getting. All right, because what Ukraine has done has showed us just how far inferior Russian military is compared to us. I
So
mean,
one more question. One more question. So Trump's going to. Because I'm looking at the top, it says Trump is a Russian spy. So you guys must believe that. So you think Trump is going to stop this? Trump's going to get Putin to stop the war. That's what you believe?
no, I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I don't know if you saw the press conference with Macron, the French president, today. All right, Trump spoke about the war. And Macron stepped in and had to correct him on some things. First of all, telling him no, that Ukraine didn't start the war, that Russia started that war. They attacked them, and that the EU put in about 60% of the money. Okay, a lot of people here, a lot of people on the right are complaining that we're putting in most of the money. We probably are as a nation, but the EU, okay, has put in provided 60% of the funds, and he said that right in front of Trump's face. All right, at their press conference today. So once again, guys, the EU is not going to let Ukraine go down. All right, you guys are thinking that the United States have the only say in this, okay? Because that's on the European continent. The Europeans have more at stake, okay, more vested in this than we do. So I just want you guys to be mindful of you.
Do you know what's going on in Europe right now, bro?
The Ukrainian war. the German
No,
elections.
I said Europe,
What are you
not
talking about?
Ukraine.
What
Do
are
you
you
know what's
talking
going
about?
on in Europe?
Brothels in Amsterdam. What are you talking about? I mean, there's a
Do you
lot
know
going on in
about the
Europe right
Do
now.
you
Enlighten
know
us.
about the
Enlighten us.
crisis in Europe? Do you know about the crisis in Europe right now?
What
You talking
crisis?
about Europe isn't going to let Ukraine win? Do you know about the crisis that's going on in Europe right now, bro?
What is the crisis, my brother?
Man, y'all better go educate yourself, bro.
You see, but what
Us
is
Y'all
it?
American
tripping.
first
Come
people
on,
don't
Marty.
give a
We
So,
got
flying
we got to
fuck
hear
what's
this
going
guy.
on in Europe.
All
We
right,
don't
guys,
give a
real quick.
shit what's
what
going
is
on
what?
in Europe.
Okay,
How
So,
And
can
you
you
know
not
what?
care? How you
Whatever
not care?
faggot
You
is
don't care
fucking
about what's
throwing me
going
off
on
the
in
stage,
Europe, but you still
one
whatever
mic, one
faggot
mic,
is
you
guys,
still
throwing me
make
off the
the
one
stage,
stage
mic,
go
you can
one
down.
mic.
suck my fucking
Well,
dick,
no,
you
hold on.
goddamn cock sucking faggots.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
Every
mic,
last
one mic.
fucking one of you.
One
Could we
sec,
get
one
that
mic.
guy out of here, man? Ain't nobody.
One
Do
second,
it
Rob.
again. Watch what fucking
Rob,
happens.
Rob,
Okay,
Whoa,
boot me
Rob,
off the fucking
whoa,
stage.
One mic,
whoa!
guys, one mic. I said one mic. Okay.
You
All right,
fucking
Rob.
fucking homos.
Rob. What do you have to say about this, man? Let's keep it a little cleaner, a little
What
bit
I have
more
to say
simple,
about
guys.
Ukraine is I don't give a fuck about Ukraine. I don't give a fuck about Europe. I give a fuck about America. Fuck Ukraine right in its ass. Fuck Israel right in its ass. Fuck Palestine right in its ass. And fuck Russia right in its ass. How's that? I'm America first. I don't give a shit what's going on in Europe.
You're
Eat
an
a bag
American
of fucking
dummy.
dicks.
You're an
All you
American
fucking
dummy.
simp fucking homos that simp for another country and don't give a fuck about your own, you can go fuck yourselves straight to fucking hell.
Y'all in here tripping. Oh no, y'all in this motherfucker tripping.
No,
Yo,
Patriot Rob is an
Rob.
American dummy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, you're not gonna come on
Oh,
people's
I'm an
stages
American dummy. No,
and,
I don't care about Europe.
and
I
say
don't
they're
give a
Hey,
shit
homos.
about
You're
Europe,
not
you
full of
fucking.
why
shit. Hey,
y'all do
Patriot Rob,
Sparky? Like
that valor you putting on your
One second.
chest, that
Yo,
shit don't work
TC,
with me,
TC,
bro.
TC. It is Rob's turn to speak. Let's not do that. I'll let you respond to Rob, but I want Rob to speak, and I don't have a problem with you responding, TC, but we're gonna respond accordingly to the rules. Rob, the mic time's yours, man.
No, see, we're the fact that anybody who lives in America is putting all of their fucking thoughts and efforts into a country that has no bearing on our country is fucking mind-boggling to me. We have so many problems in America that need to get solved first before we start solving problems in other fucking countries. This is the problem. America has been the world police for oh God, I'm getting a fucking phone call.
All right, guys, listen to me. Patriot Rob came in hot. I love it, guys. That's him. That's Patriot Rob. So we
That's my
got a
boy,
couple.
Jonathan. That's my boy.
I
He
am.
is.
Jonathan. I can
He
tell you
is.
right now. There's some faggot in your audience that's a co-host that keeps kicking me down to the fucking audience. That shit better not fucking happen again.
Good,
That's
Rob.
all I'm
No,
gonna
Rob,
fucking
you're
say.
fine. Rob, you're fine. Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Oh
go.
wait, so Rob is dictating terms around here?
No. Actually, TC, let's not do that on the show, guys. TC, that's the quickest
Yeah, you
way.
know what? I am dictating terms because
Yeah.
Jonathan, the host of this show, wants me on the fucking show. So if any of you fucking faggots down there throw me out into the fucking audience, you're going against Jonathan's will. So eat a fat bag of fucking dicks.
Y'all on here one
So
side of this
anyway,
head letting one person
headline,
speak, man.
One mic, guys.
Cindy's awake.
Yo, headline, man, you gotta chill for a second, man.
Two
Cause
minds in that
One
bag.
second, guys. Real quick, guys. Hey, welcome to Debate the News, guys. Listen to me. Headline. We want you to jump in, but you're jumping in way too much, man. You're gonna have to be a little bit more strategic when you're doing this. All right. So with that being said, hey guys, if you guys are listening to us,
Wait,
whether it's
we
on,
talking about Rob the faggot?
can you get TC if you
I ain't even
interrupt
say
my
nothing.
TC, not you headline. TC, last warning, bro. Please, respectfully. Okay, we're doing a live podcast here, so respectfully, let's not do that again, sir. All right. So with that
So
being said,
Jonathan, outside of all of the other bullshit, all right, let's get down to the real. The fact that most of these countries fucking hate us is because we have, for the last I don't know how many years, maybe 60 years, have gone into these countries, dropped our cocks in these countries. We've decimated their fucking people. No wonder why they fucking hate us. Now is the time to pull out of all of this fucking bullshit and start taking care of our own. These people hate us because we go in there and we try to save them, and what do? We decimate their fucking infrastructure. We go in there for some bullshit like, oh, WMDs that didn't fucking exist in the first place. And what do? what do? We go in there and we fuck it up. And then we try to be the world fucking police. And when that doesn't work, we give them their money to try to silence them and shut them the fuck up. The problem is we shouldn't be the fucking world police. We shouldn't be over there doing any of this shit right now. You know what? Here's the thing. Let's go back to the Minsk Accords that got pulled out of because of fucking Macron. Okay, why don't we deal with that? We could have had fucking peace in between the Donbass, Ukraine, and Russia in 2013. But no, nobody wants to talk about that shit. And Jonathan, seriously, dude, if you look it up, if you take 5 seconds to look it up, Russia has 3.4 million fucking soldiers. 1.4 of those are active fucking duty, which means those are ground pounders. Those are motherfuckers that will go in. If Russia truly wanted to go in and wipe Ukraine out, they could have done it in a couple of weeks. But you know what? He has shown great fucking restraint. You guys may not think it is, but if he wanted to, he could have bulldozed his way right into Kiev and fucking dropped his cock right in fucking Zelensky's fucking maw. And end of story, dude. They have
No,
$1.4 million, 1.4 million fucking soldiers that are active duty. In fact, they have 3.4 million in their military. We only have 2 million. And we have 1.1 million active soldiers. Look it up.
all right,
America's not a baby dad.
one
America a
second.
Musk.
So what I'm
Yeah, let
telling you,
me go ahead
Jonathan,
and
is
fire up
if
a
Putin
response to
wanted to,
that. So,
them throwing
they got so many
100,000
freaking
soldiers is
soldiers, bro.
nothing for
They
them. Nothing. It's a drop in the fucking well.
All right, let me fire this up. If they got so many freaking
Dang, his
soldiers, why are
mouth.
they having to recruit from their prisons? Why are they having to bring in North Koreans, bro? I mean, come on. Here's a photo
Y'all
of the
serious,
Russian
bro.
army, the mighty Russian army harvesting potatoes. Who deploys their army to harvest potatoes? You know what? A first world nation doesn't do that, bro. And like you just simping for them and their military and be like, oh, they're
I
so
am not simping
powerful.
for Russia.
They're
I'm
so
talking about facts and
powerful.
numbers.
one
I
second,
don't.
son.
I
Yeah,
actually don't
why
give a
No,
are
no,
fuck
no.
how many
why
Hey,
are they
Russians
Rob,
bringing
die,
in
Rob,
more
Rob,
and I
let
don't give a
Rob,
military?
let him
fuck
land,
about how
Rob.
many
Why are
Ukrainians
they
die.
bringing
I
in
Rob,
don't
other
care.
people, bro?
Let him
Come on.
land. Go ahead,
Right, but
Skull.
he can talk
Just
over people though.
yeah, just think about axiomatic logic, dude. Why are they having to bring in prisoners? Why are they having to bring in North Koreans? Just think about it as an axiom, just as like logic, man. That doesn't make sense. I rest, I land.
Mekey, you've been trying to get in. 1 second, Mekey. We need to get some ladies in here. Mekey, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I just wanted to say that I agree with Scald. Russia has such old equipment that we actually send Ukraine our old equipment, right? That's how bad when they're fighting with this. We have been sanctioning the crap out of Russia. Remember when we were basically chasing their oligarchs around the world and taking their yachts? So many American corporations moved out of there. We messed with their currency, like even their cryptocurrency. So I'm not sure where we're getting this. If China had not lent a hand, then pretty much everything would have stopped a long time ago. So they literally have to keep conscripting and raising the age of people that they want to fight.
Lord,
So I'm not sure where we
Lornies.
get this misinformation from. It's kind of goofy, especially when you can confirm this. But Jonathan, I'm still sitting here bewildered and puzzled, hearing Americans, booty clap for Russia and China. That is just insane to me. Is this the Red Scare or what?
He's not an American. Okay, he's a fascist. He's a scum of the earth. He's a scumbag.
No, no, no,
Anybody
no.
that
There's
would
no
use
personal
oh
attacks like that,
oh
scum.
oh oh wait, I
How
thought
about you
everybody
go
was
fuck
faggot.
Let
yourself,
So
everybody
faggot? How you
talk,
how you like
man.
that
hold
shit, you
on,
fucking
hold on,
homo?
hold on,
At least
hold
I'm
on.
not a
I don't
fucking
know who
soy
you are,
drinking
Rob, but
Lopez.
when you come in,
So this is the problem, right? Because somebody that would be considered an American could at least
Go fuck
comport himself to
yourself.
learn how to speak and debate without
Thank you,
debasing and
Sparky.
disgracing his mother on the stage with that type of phraseology that's coming out of his mouth. You need to
Thank you,
stand down,
Sparky.
motherfucker. You're talking to a real grown
Oh, you
ass
mean the
man.
cock that's
oh
Yeah.
coming out of
God,
And
your?
guess what? You're not a patriot
you
either.
got a big
You know
mouth.
what
That's
you're
what you
not?
got, bro. A big
You're not
mouth.
a patriot. You're not a patriot. You
Oh, I'm a
think you're a
fucking
patriot.
patriot,
You
all
look
right,
at yourself in
motherfucker.
the mirror
Man, you
and
ain't
you
no
wish you was
patriot,
I'm a
more
boy.
patriot,
man
all
than
right,
you are.
motherfucker.
You
Ain't
ain't
I'm.
not.
nobody. You know
That's a
why?
big cock for some
Because
big
nobody
mouths.
respects you. Your own
Come on,
people don't
motherfucker,
respect
I
you.
relax.
don't.
You suck.
Yeah,
You know why you suck? You suck because nobody likes you and you
okay.
wish more
At
people
least
like
I'm
you.
not a
So
leftist faggot
you
like
gotta
you
call
are.
everybody else
Okay.
You
faggot
the
Okay.
only
Okay.
one
Okay.
that
Okay.
got
Okay.
your
Okay.
own
One
damn
second.
person.
Hold on.
and you
Second.
Everybody
Hold
wish
else
on.
is
more
You can
people
get
stupid
like
like
credit for
you.
that
hell.
all you
You
want.
You
know
the only
more
one that got.
American.
Shooters. Thank you, guys. Listen to me. Whenever I tell you guys to mute out, you got to mute out. I'm sorry. and
Listen to these crybabies.
yeah, yeah. 1 second, Rob. Listen to me. I gotta move this thing around. Rob, we'll be back to you. We'll be back to Snarky Puppy when he comes back up. Listen to me, guys. I got a couple people
What
on
a
the hit
name,
list already.
snarky
Not
puppy.
one. I have a couple people on the hit list, guys. So what I want to do right now is I want to go down. We have people here in the audience. Ay, yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys said y'all wanted fire, right? Y'all got fire. You guys got fire. Don't blame me. You guys got fire. So we got some other people here that obviously want to jump in that have some opinions. Anyone else wants to jump in on this right here because
Can I
this
chime
is
in?
who's that?
Here's Ice.
Daniel.
Go Daniel.
Yeah, I think sometimes how we interpret certain events globally, we want to interpret it by some lens. Uh, Great powers look out for their interests, regardless of how we may sometimes try to moralize certain situations. So, this war, though many of us disagree with it, there are repercussions to it that does affect us domestically, but then also internationally. For the person that talked about the sanctions and how it's affecting their economy, how we view their economy, we're judging it by Western lenses and not necessarily by the Russian citizens or even how the Russian economy may function on a purchasing power parity level versus what their citizens are able to purchase versus, let's say, those in Europe and those in the United States. It's a completely different scale. How, let's say, the Europeans say one thing about the conflict, but at the same time, countries like Greece have allowed the shadow fleets to exist because they understand that in the game of real power politics, business still wins. When you look at how the sanctions are even created, how the United States and even Europe creates loopholes for countries like India, countries like China, countries like Singapore to be able to buy Russian oil, transfer it on a ship to ship transfer basis, and then resell it to the Europeans because they understand that they still have an interest in seeing their energy markets not completely deteriorate. How we may sometimes argue about these conflicts is one thing, but how the people that are in politics or that are in power, it's a completely separate argument that they put to place. I mean, France has been running around and saying a whole bunch of stuff, but what's not often getting the headlines is the fact that France is also transferring in Russian gas and then transferring that to Germany. So, though they may say one thing, the business of the conflict is something that still goes completely up. So, I mean, the United States is still importing Russian diesel. We may hate Putin, we may hate Russia, and we may hate this conflict, but bringing it to a resolution or to an end, there are some benefits domestically, but then also internationally that a lot of players will not come and say openly, but privately they're saying this, and this is not my opinion. This is the opinions of those that are in the global south, whether it's Africa, whether those that are in South America, even those that are in the Asia or even in the European um, countries as well. So I don't think you can be a quote unquote Russian spy for trying to bring this conflict to an end, understanding that there are repercussions that the longer it goes on to play, that it will hurt those at home in the United States and abroad. And being America first, like that person was saying, maybe his message was being poorly characterized. And apologies if I'm saying this wrong, but there is a level of industrialization that the United States, if it's trying to continue to be the unipolar power that it does have to do in order to keep its place, whether that's on a semiconductor, whether that's on a metals level, whether that's on a cloud capital level. These are things that you do have to do. Otherwise, you're going to come to head with another great power, which in this case is
America
China.
does it. It's a corporation, not a
One
country.
second. Drop that guy. Get him out of here. Okay. Go ahead, sir. Finish landing.
No. I'm finished. I think sometimes we don't truly understand the way that business or that politics works in the world. I mean, most of us in the United States will sometimes say that we hate Venezuela, we hate Iran. Yet the last administration had sanctions on Iran, but didn't enforce the sanctions of Iran because it was to the benefit of having the Iranian oil come to the market, especially in an election year, to keep prices relatively low, knowing that it could hurt them from a political standpoint. And now you fast forward to this present administration, and they understand if you're going to sanction Iran because of the relationships that you have with, let's say, Israel, and having a negative position against Iran, you need to either get buy-in from the OPEC countries in order to increase production to keep oil prices low, or otherwise you do need to do business, which they've shown with a country like Iran and the current leader, in order to get some of the Iranian oil into the market. So the morality and the politics might be one thing, but the
Yep.
business that countries have within their interest is a completely separate argument that they're going to decide to
Absolutely,
do. I'm
absolutely,
done.
Daniel. Here's the deal, Daniel. Guys, let me just say this right here. If we're speaking about being a another country coming up and possibly matching us. I mean, we're the only world superpower right now. Okay, we are the only world superpower right now, and militarily, we're so far ahead of anyone else right now. We're not worried about that. Okay, now I will say this: what does frighten me is, like I said this before, is the drone technology. All right, drones are the great equalizer. Okay, and so as sophisticated as we are, people can use little drones and do a lot of damage. So that's the one thing that worries me about us. But right now, when you look at it, we are untouchable of sorts. But what scares me is, once again, is as we start to alienate our allies, okay, and our alliances, then we become a less untouchable. So I want to say that I want to keep that in mind, guys. Hey, is Trump a Russian spy? Is Putin in charge of U.S. policy? Okay, that's what we're speaking about today. Hey, if you're listening to us at home, if you're listening to us on iTunes, Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, we're on Pandora, guys, as well. XM, iHeart Media, TuneIn Radio, Overcast, any one of those podcasts. If you guys want to join us, we do this every night at approximately 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live. Come in and join the conversation. Your voice will be heard. And if you're in the room and you want to listen to this podcast, we ask that you go up top to the room, click the link up top, follow the podcast, okay, and download a few episodes, guys. Let us know that you appreciate us. Leave a review or two, guys. Also, we don't usually get this spicy. That was a lot. That's a lot spicier than I've seen in a very long time. Luckily, we have that beat button going right now. But once again, yeah, is Trump a Russian spy? Let me just say this, folks. Um, right now, some of the policy moves that Trump's making, some of the things that he said. I remember he said, and once again, Cindy gets upset when I bring up this name, but just a while back, he said, hey, one of his right hand men said that Trump said he wished he had Hitler's generals. And then when you look at what he's doing to the Joint Chief of Staff right now, those are usually not political appointees. The military is usually non-political, apolitical. Okay, and when you see now that the military, is being, I guess people are getting let go and they're being replaced with quote unquote Trump loyalists, and then you look at the inspector generals being terminated, and you look at the EOs, the executive orders that's going out, that only him and the attorney general get to interpret law. Okay, that is in direct conflict with the Constitution because we have the judiciary that interpret law. All right. So, and then when you look at also, some of the other executive order where Congress had put these independent bodies in place, he now claims ownership over those independent bodies. So there's a lot that's happening here. When you look at it, it's scary. When you look at that very purposeful tweet that he who breaks no laws, I mean he who saves his country breaks no laws. That was a tweet that went out by Napoleon. Excuse me, a phrase uttered by Napoleon Bonaparte right before he took over as emperor of France. And then he did a great thing with the congestion pricing in New York. When you look at that congestion pricing, no one wants it. And he pulled back the federal government support of it. But then he tweeted out, "Long live the king." along with a picture of him with a crown on the Time magazine. That guys, this is some very trolling behavior. This is behavior we've never seen, manifest itself in public. Dick Nixon, some of his tapes, he sounded like a king. He sounded very authoritarian, but he never came out and said that publicly. This White House is doing just that. And so some of the, like I said, a lot of the policy decisions that he's making right now, especially saying that Ukraine started the war, that is abrupt. That's an abrupt U-turn from where we were, just 2 months ago. And so it's pretty hard to sit here and look at what's happening right now and saying this is an alignment with U.S. policies, historical U.S. policies. So that's what we're speaking about here. The floor is open, guys. I see that we got the room back somewhat under control. The snipers, thank you guys. You guys did a good job. I get, yeah, yeah, right, Marty, taking them down. But yeah, guys, I'm excited. I'm excited about this conversation because I think we can have a really substantive conversation here when we speak about what's going on here because it's interesting to see a lot of things that's happening. People are saying, "Hey, let's try something different." Okay, let's try something different, but do we have to be so different that we're aligned with Belarus and North Korea and Russia? Is that the difference that we want to try? It's not what we want to try. I mean, we were that shining light on the hill and all that other stuff, as Ronald Reagan would say, and all that other stuff. I don't think the world's not looking at us like that right now. So, hey, you guys want to jump in? Now's the time to jump in. The mic's open. Well, let's do it.
Well, here's
Hey,
what
Jonathan,
I'd
Jonathan,
love.
can I jump
this
in?
is
Hold on, let's
Mickey.
get that
Shayna,
lady. Let's get
Shayna.
that.
Mickey,
Hold on,
Mickey.
hold on. Yeah, let's get the lady in there.
Thank you, Marty. What I wanted to say, and I'm so glad that you said that. Um, because I was a Reagan Republican prior to Trump, and people forget that in his outgoing speech, Reagan was very much pro-immigration. In fact, he used that opportunity to speak about immigration and how that would continue to keep the Americas on top. So I don't know if Trump is a Russian spy. I don't know if his debt, which he wouldn't even get a security clearance if he was a regular citizen. Let me put that out there right there. When I was going into military intelligence, or I thought I was, right? They actually came and spoke to my family members and my neighbors and they asked if I had any debt, even though, I was 19, 20 years old. This man is in debt, billions of dollars, yet he's able to be president and basically play at manipulative tactics, which work at people in his office that he can fire. Heads of state like Putin, you can't get one over on Putin, right? The man is KGB trained. He's literally one of the best. So the issue I have is that why are they trying to dismantle everything that made the United States quote unquote great in the first place? So now you want to take away aid from these other countries. So you want to leave us alone on an island. I'm not really sure that that's a good way to go. In previous conversations, we've talked about how we're basically doing away with all of our allies. And I think that this vote was basically just one more way for the United States is basic. I have to do the face now. Nanny, nanny, boo, boo. But the thing is like, what are we doing here? These are not a bunch of wayward kids that are like throwing rocks at houses and running away. I'm not really sure what the strategy is. What I do know is that Putin is smiling, right? Whoever said earlier, oh, the United States places sanctions on Iran, but we never really do anything. The US Treasury Department just did more sanctions, right? 12 hours ago. What we are forgetting is that the United States usually does not give a shit. We are extremely calculating, extremely manipulative, and if we hang something over your head, it's usually for a reason because we've always only cared about the US dollar, number one, us being number one in all regards. But what's really going on here? Make America great again? This sounds like it's about to make America Russian again. So I don't know what's
No,
going
no,
on,
no.
but we need to figure this out. I'm looking forward to midterms because I don't know what this man is doing. I don't know what Elon is doing, but I can tell what Putin's doing. Putin is basically getting the US to be an apologist for this war. And if we hand Putin more land, he's not going to stop there. He has not all of a sudden decided that he just loves the West and Western culture just because of Donald J. Trump. Trump been going into the Kremlin for years. Remember the PP tapes? They're uncovering everything except the PP tapes, right? So whatever Putin has on this man, he has on the country. And I am willing to bet that Donald J. Trump would sell all of us just to get rid of his debt for pennies on the dollar. So Russian asset, Russian spy, throw Melania in there too. Why don't you, Jonathan?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who was that else? Who was else trying to jump in? There was someone else trying to
Yes,
jump in.
sir. I would like to jump
Started.
in. Just
Go ahead.
because she would like to think
Go
that,
ahead, Charmaine. Go.
yes, sir. Just because she would like to think that she has such highly intelligent, and she's highly intelligent, by the way. I love the way you speak and think, man. But this isn't the case currently. The case currently is the fact that these individuals are coming in and trying to correct a lot of things. Something that you spoke about Putin. Putin spoke about the truth about quote unquote black people, as anybody would possibly think or to state that I am for me speaking, right? But Putin also told that Jesus was black and the
Okay,
Israelite.
okay, okay. One second, one
See,
second.
we can't
One
speak.
second, Charmaine. Charmaine, one second. We're not talking about race at this moment. We're talking about Russia. We're talking about Trump. We're speaking about Putin. All right. Is this in alignment with anything we want that we're speaking about? Respectfully.
Let me just respond to her if I could, Jonathan, on one
Yeah,
point.
go ahead, TC. Yeah,
So
thank you.
I
Yeah,
think
after
Putin
that,
spoke about dead money, Jonathan.
what was that? Good. What are you saying, Charmaine?
Go ahead, TC.
so I think on this topic, unfortunately, there's not much for me to disagree with Mekey on. But I will say this, as it relates to her commentary about Donald Trump. Listen, I think Donald Trump is demonstrating inclinations for negotiation. I think he's doing what he's always done. For some reason, it catches you guys off guard. He does it. He has the same playbook over and over and over again. All right, he raises the stakes, changes the game, and that's how he plays. It's poker. Um, but what Mickey does on a regular basis, and it just is not fruitful, is she creates this alarmist mentality around how Trump engages in foreign and diplomatic negotiations. Let me explain something to you. Okay, the president cannot engage in any treaty that the U.S. is party to without the consent of Congress. Okay, specifically the Senate. Any treaty that the U.S. is party to, the Senate has to approve it. And it's not even by a simple majority vote, it's by a 2/3 supermajority vote, which means that any treaty that the president negotiates and tries to enter United States into is going to require Democrat votes. Okay, and you can rest assured that that's not going to go past Congress if Trump is creating some sort of leverage for Russia to take advantage of Ukraine and give Vladimir Putin more power. What's likely to happen is Donald Trump's going to try and negotiate. And if there's some sort of like deal to be made, it's going to be a reasonable deal because you're going to have Vladimir Putin signing on with it. You're going to have Volodymyr Zelensky signing on to it. And you're going to have America signing on to it. So that would be the only pushback. Like, leave the alarmism at the door. That shit's not going to happen. He's not giving all of Ukraine over. He's currently in the process of trying to negotiate a mineral deal, natural minerals, $500 billion mineral deal with Ukraine. So there's active negotiations happening in tandem with this military peace deal that's happening, and clearly both sides are operating in good faith because the back and forth is being negotiated across multiple different lines. There's bilaterals happening between the United States and Russia, bilaterals happening between the United States and Ukraine. All right, so I think this process is going smoothly, just the way it should. This is how U.S. diplomacy works. You got to make
Okay.
sure the other side feel like they're getting more out of the deal than they
Okay.
are, which is probably Trump's first play. His first
Okay.
play is to cozy up to Vladimir
Okay.
Putin
Thank
and
you,
make him feel
TC.
like he's getting more than he's actually
Okay.
getting.
Okay, TC, thank you. So let me just say something, and I don't need you to respond. It's just a statement, so I'm not going to need you to respond. We're going to go to some other people, you know, because I'm going to say a factual statement. It doesn't need a response. The problem with that statement is Trump isn't going to give him all of Ukraine. It's not Trump's place to give him any of Ukraine. Ukraine doesn't belong to Trump to give to anyone. All right. So that statement was very troubling hearing someone speak as if Trump has the right to parse out Ukraine as he sees fits. All right. So that's not something that when I'm sitting there listening to. Just that doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. That doesn't make me say, okay, okay, great. He's not gonna give up all of Ukraine. But anyone else wants to jump in on this, man? Because we definitely want to have the conversation, folks.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Let's do
I've
it.
got a few points to make, and they're going to be sequential. Firstly, for headline, if you don't understand the last 1,100 years of history between the Kievan Rus and the Muscovites, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, that's like arguing against gravity, saying that Ukraine hasn't been a nation. Like that's just an insane take. Secondly, getting into the points that were made by the guy after that, yeah, there is purchasing power parity. There is all this kind of stuff. You know what? I was just on Volcante the other day, actually just this morning, which is the Russian version of TikTok, and I saw that the Russians were complaining about the fact that their butter is $16, not rubles, 16 American dollars for a stick of butter. Now, the average Russian makes a salary of $14,000 a year. That's in dollars. They cannot afford $16 sticks of butter, my friend. Like, you need that to make food. So, yeah, the sanctions are working. They have converted their economy to a wartime economy, but it's starting to come apart at the seams. And then lastly, and this is just double tapping Miki's point, is this, which is that Russia does not want a unipolar nation. I heard the guy before say, oh, we're unipolar. And I heard you say, we're in charge. That's true. But Russia, from day one, 3 days after they tried to push for Kiev, they said, we live in a multipolar world now since we've invaded Ukraine and have it. And then the Kremlin actually deleted that headline after they didn't successfully take Kiev. But guess what? Putin is still shilling that. And I was able to go online and I was able to find where just 2 months ago he was in BRICS saying that we live in a multipolar world and we don't have to care about what America thinks. Everybody better care about what America thinks. I don't give a shit. We are not going to carry water for Russia here. I land.
All right. It certainly looks like we're carrying water for Russia at this moment. That's what people are concerned about, folks. So, guys, look, where does this topic come from? We actually did. If you guys go look in archives, we did this like 2 years ago. It was like one of our last podcasts that we did like 2 years ago. And, today as we're reading, all of the news and I'm going over everything, they actually posed the same question. I was like, wow, we posed that question 2 years ago. Is it in our archives? And so, and then, we went on and we spoke about, I mean, I guess they spoke about all of the policies that, that exactly that I guess Trump did that Putin wants. It says, it just let's see here, but they're looking at everything that has happened. And guys, look, we're giving up so much of our freedoms. And every night I tell you guys, I remind you guys, the Patriot Act that was only here for a little while. Okay, 9/11. Okay, 23 years ago now. All right. Um, guess what? It's still here. We never they never got rid of it. The FISA court, that's the result of 9/11, 23 years ago. Still here. Anytime we give up any of these rights, anytime we are sitting here saying, okay, guys, the executive branch is being expanded so much, it's starting to uh I guess resemble a dictator, authoritarian. It doesn't look like the president of the United States anymore. So it's like a lot of you guys are happy and say, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay, okay." Listen to me. I wouldn't trust my father. I mean, he's dead. I wouldn't trust my brother with that kind of authority. I wouldn't trust anyone. I wouldn't trust my son with that kind of authority that he's trying to get. I'm sorry. I just wouldn't do it. All right. Even if I know that his intentions are good, okay, or his intentions in front of me are well, because once you get behind closed doors and everyone's coming at you, everyone's tempting you, what they say, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. So it's one of those things you don't want to just go ahead and give this kind of power to someone. So there's a lot of things that Trump has done previously, and he's doing right now. There's no need for us right now. We want to, we want to attack Greenland, okay, and take it by force if necessary. We want to attack the Panama Canal and take it by force if necessary. We want to put economical pressure on Canada to make it the 51st state. All right, and then here we are, okay. So we're attacking our allies and peaceful nations. Greenland let us put an Air Force base there. Now we got it's a Space Force base in Greenland. Okay, we have Canada. Okay, same with Canada. I mean, Canada's our neighbors, but not our best ally. In Mexico, Mexico has been a great ally as well. So when you look at that, all right, now we're cozying up to Putin. We have behaviors that we're like, wait a minute, why? And everyone's justifying those behaviors, but now we're cozying up to Putin. It just doesn't look right. Doesn't feel good, and it doesn't feel good to see Americans justify it. To see Storm come up here today and justify it, that was crazy. All right, to see others come up and justify it is just crazy, guys. So yeah. So with that saying, guys, are there any women here that want to jump in? Are there any women that want to get in and speak
I'll,
about this?
I'll jump in, Jonathan.
Go ahead.
Um, so when I look at this, I look at several things. One, just look at the Republican Party and what their sentiments have been congressionally regarding Russia, and even with those who are out speaking publicly. It doesn't align with the behavior and actions of Donald Trump and his love affair that he has with Putin and wanting to grant him everything. But I also look at things on a more geopolitical global perspective. Let's talk about Germany, who's on the backside of Poland. Germany has been one of our biggest allies. We have a huge military presence in Germany. For them to say they want to try and figure out how to disconnect and make themselves independent of the United States just yesterday and today, mind you, you have to find that there's a problem with that. Russia is so weak that they're sending their disabled and their disease to go fight against Ukraine. That shows you how weak they are. So I asked this question once before. If there was a World War III, how will the US stand if everybody else in the world is against us? Do you think that Russia, China, or any of them would want to partner with us to fight everyone else? We cannot go it alone. We're a global world at this point. And it's just abhorrent and sick what Trump is doing in reference to Russia. And it is making us look bad and weak. And I just hate it for our alleged allies who all now want to turn their back on us. And in the future, when you get somebody back in office that has common sense, that understands geopolitics, that understand the relationships we have, my fear is that those countries be like, yeah, it's great you're here, but we don't trust the USA because of what Donald Trump did. And he's not making it safe for Americans to travel also. I'll land.
What's his approval rating right now, Rachelle? I read something earlier today that it's at an all time low, worse than when he was president
That's
during
not
his
true.
first term.
That's not
I
true.
don't know the actual percentage right now, but
Eh, eh, eh,
I saw that too.
you saying all time low? I don't think it's at an all time low. I think it's dropped. It's dipped. You know, it's too
Yeah, it's
early.
dropping. It's
It's
dropping
Yeah,
considerably.
definitely
yeah,
dipped, but it's not at an all-time low, but it has dipped.
yeah. So yeah, we got to be careful when we make those statements, school teacher. So no, guys, listen to me. Okay. Someone was saying something.
May I
All right,
ask a
all right, guys,
question,
real
Jonathan?
quick.
Can I ask a question quickly?
Who?
It's
Go
Dr.
ahead,
Hope.
Dr. Hope.
So, Skull, if it's true that in 86 and 87 he was doing that, what would be the consequences of this? And I just did a search. It's definitely on our US internet loop. What will be the consequences if they do find that that's true? Could someone respond to that? Thank you.
At this point in time, Donald Trump is the chief law enforcement official in the land. All right. Anything as a result of that will be federal charges, which comes under his dominion. All right. As the chief law enforcement official in the land. So Donald Trump literally he's good. He's especially for something like that. So I just don't want to go down that rabbit hole. That and it's a rabbit hole. I don't put the tinfoil hat on. I like to keep it above ground. No, definitely
Question:
want to. Go ahead. Who's that?
have you
This
seen the
headline.
title?
Go ahead. Go ahead, TC.
He said he doesn't want to put a tinfoil hat on. Have you seen your title? That's a
Yeah, go.
tinfoil
Right?
hat
No,
title, bro.
no. Actually, it's not a conspiracy. It's a question. It's a real question. There's no
Could I
10-4.
could I speak though? I
Yeah,
got a question.
yeah. Go ahead,
Just
lines.
just headlines.
Let's go ahead, lines. Let's go.
All right, so Rachel just spoke. Nothing against what Rachel just said, except for one thing.
Rachelle.
Rosero, sorry about that. Um, she just said if we would go into World War III, who would be on our side or something like that, right? Something to that nature.
Okay.
Question for everybody in here: do y'all not notice that we're already in World War III? Y'all think war is just when bombs start dropping? You see how everybody's quiet? Like y'all
Yeah,
laughing
you
like,
got us. Yeah,
dude.
you got us. You won.
No,
You
no,
won
no,
that.
no, no.
No,
Yeah,
Let
I'm
me
bro.
just
speak. Let me
trying. I'm
hold
You
on.
trying
win.
to.
Let me speak. Let me
I'm
speak.
just
Let me
trying to
speak.
figure out where this level of ignorance comes from, bro. You know, in World War II,
Let me let me let me
a hundred and
let me finish
fourteen,
speaking.
114 of the 190 nations on Earth were involved in that.
Dude,
114 of
I
them.
don't
I mean, Italy dropped bombs on
okay, let him cut
Borneo.
me off. Go ahead.
Borneo's like an island paradise. Why was Italy bombing Borneo? It didn't even make any sense. Saying this is like a world war is just it's unhinged behavior right there. It's just not true at
So
all.
can I finish speaking?
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. All right, I'm gonna move on. I gave you an opportunity to educate us, sir. Going once, going twice. All right,
Hairline,
so
hairline, hairline. You still there, hairline?
I'm
this
sorry.
is
I'm sorry. I thought I was unmuted. Okay, so um Skald just got Skald. Like it went back all the way back to the 1900s and all that. Look, do y'all not realize that we are in the year 2025 and that this war is not being fought with bombs? Even though there are bombs dropping literally on Gaza and Palestinians are dying, Israelians, they shot over 1,500 missiles into Israel. Ukrainians are dying. Russians are dying just because 190 countries were. Look, this is a power grab. If anybody does know that, but the fact that I'm saying is, if you think that we're not already in World War III, you are delusional. You know what I'm saying? Like the fact that we even talking about this subject right now, y'all talking about our president being a spy. Bro, if you don't think we're already in war, people don't need people questioning our president, people questioning what's going on with this new Department of Government Efficiency and all types of stuff, right? People just don't know which way to look, which way to turn. Everybody's speculating. We're already in it. You know what I'm saying? She said, who's going to be on our side? This, that, like, y'all believe what y'all want to believe. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying this for a long time. Like, this is already happening. You know what I'm saying? Everything ain't gonna be fought with bombs this time. We literally just watched COVID kill millions and millions of people. You know what I'm saying? And you think we're not in a World War III?
So that was a
We
part of World War III. You said that it's not going to happen with bombs this time, but you quoted two wars that have taken place with bombs. So what?
I
Please
said it's not
explain.
just going to be with bombs as in the past where it was people dropping nuclear
Okay,
weapons
okay,
on each other.
no,
okay. So
Marty, one
yeah,
second.
let's just
Let
move on
Marty.
from this.
Yeah, hold on, yeah, hold on. Yeah, listen to me, man. Thank you for the education, man, and the enlightenment. And so, that we appreciate that. Thanks for that contribution. TC, are you there?
Wait, I think I'm starting to get what he's saying, though. Actually, now that I listen to him a little bit,
I
Jonathan,
mean, y'all looking at
I,
it
I
one sided.
I think I am starting to understand what he's saying is that the way the war is going to be fought, it's not going to be conventional warfare, which we've agreed. I've made these arguments on stages before. It's not going to be conventional warfare. It's going to be information warfare. It's going to be subterfuge when it comes to political, geopolitical alliances. Remember, it's kind of like a cold. Maybe I think what he's talking about is going to be like a Cold War. And if those are the arguments he's making, then I don't know if I
That's ex-
necessarily.
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, sometimes you got to listen to you for like 40 minutes to just like think real hard to understand what you're saying. So if he's saying that, He's basically saying there's a lot of political subterfuge happening, and that there's alliances that are taking place, and basically there's a Cold War footing, a Cold War three footing right now that we're in, and unless something happens, like in World War I, where the Baltic states kind of like blow up to it to create a conventional military conflict.
Yeah.
I think
The
what
cliff
he's
notes.
saying
We
is
don't
we're
want dissertation. Not no dissertations, bro. Come on,
yeah,
the
yeah,
cliff
yeah.
notes.
I'm dragging it on, but I guess the point is he's not necessarily incorrect. I mean, you've got a stale conflict right now between China and Taiwan. You got a stale conflict right now between Israel and Gaza. You got a stale conflict right now between a more this is more static conflict between Ukraine and Russia. But when you take all of these things together and you look at the dramatically shifting landscape, when you look at politics, look what's happening in Argentina, which has happened in Germany, what's happening in the U.S., you can certainly see how there's a political um, uneasiness that could really spark a global kinetic conflict.
And not to cut you off, Sparky, but bro, look, bro, open y'all eyes. Look at the border. Look at the invasion that just happened at the Mexican border, bro. Open y'all eyes. Look at all these planes falling out of the sky. You got New York. Look at New York. Like, open your eyes, bro.
Yep, yep,
You got
yep.
Venezuelans beating up cops. You got things happening that has never happened in our. If you're 50 years old and younger, you're living in a world that you've never lived in. Period.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. Look, hey, okay, we're gonna move this thing on, guys. 100%, guys. Once again, hey, if you guys are listening to us over at iTunes or whether it's Apple, Spotify, Pandora now, guys, we finally got Pandora up and running, as well as iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Overcast, wherever it may be, guys. Come join us. We do these things live on the Chatter social app, the Chatter social app, and you can download that either at the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Guys, download it and come and join us live and debate the news with us. If you guys are in the room, look up top. We have some links up top. All you have to do is click those links. Follow this podcast, guys. You guys are doing an amazing job. There are people in 30 different countries listening to us. You know, Norway just came online. Norway just came online, and that I was amazed to see Norway come online. And so that's 30 something countries. I'm gonna see if other countries have joined us, but 30 countries that I know of have joined us so far, and that is just amazing to see 30 different countries listening to us. Cindy Stampo was at a casino, and someone actually last night said to her, like, "Hey, Cindy, I love your podcast." Cindy, like, "What podcast?" I don't have a podcast. Because the one that Jonathan runs. And so, and Cindy's like, "Oh," and then he tells her, you know what, you're my favorite character on that podcast. So people are listening. They're listening. They're paying attention. And so shout out to all of the people, all you listeners out there that are listening. And you guys are definitely appreciated. And keep downloading, your listeners, the listeners out there, keep downloading. Let people know that we're here. Share it with your friends. Don't just keep it for yourself. Share it with your friends. And the people here in this room, do the same thing. When you guys hit that link up top, share with your friends. Let them know that you're in here debating the news with us. This is going to be the biggest, I believe, by the end of the year, it's going to be one of the biggest podcasts in the country. That's my hope. All right. At least I spoke it. It's real now. So, with that being said, Marty Bird, man, oh man, we got some really interesting things going on tonight.
Man, it's a whole lot of things going on tonight, man.
We got TC, and we got TC agreeing with headline, and I understand why his
Ooh.
name is headline because he speaks headlines. I mean, it definitely speaks headlines. But yeah. Anyone else want to jump in on this? Anyone else has something they want to say? I see my man Skull. Before I go, how do you guys like Skull? You guys like Skull? Any you guys like? All right, I
He
see
he
some.
Sure.
Yeah,
he
he's
he, he
awesome. He's
he's a,
No,
Okay,
great.
he's a
don't
good
like
so
guy. He's a
Skull.
good guy.
yeah, guys, Skull is like my new right hand man. All right. So Skull and I was on the phone right before this thing, right before we opened up. Skull, yeah, Skull is an economist. Skull, you want to tell who you are? You want to give him
See,
that
Rachelle, you got traded for a
name?
white dude.
How, hey, Skull, you want to give him that name that you're going to use from now on, Skull?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my actual name's Jim. So I'm going to start going by Jim. I had this from a long time ago on crypto spaces on Twitter, right? And in crypto spaces, everyone straight stays anonymous, But I'm going to start using my real name on here.
Yeah,
Jeff, I
absolutely.
like Skald better. Let's use Skald, Jonathan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
let's stick with
Storm, right?
Skull.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. No, it's up to him. I didn't tell him that. He got real white on me. I mean, he got real like proper and said, I'm going to use Jim. I'm going to use Jim." I'm like, "Okay, whatever you want to do." But,
All right,
but,
Jim.
but,
Maybe
but
I'll
yeah,
just stick
exactly,
with
Jim. Okay,
Skull.
bud.
Maybe I will just
But
stick with
Let's
Skull,
flip
Skull.
Jim.
Skull,
All right.
tell him something. Skull, tell him something about yourself. Skull, can you get him a little bit about you? Not too
Yeah,
much. Don't dox yourself. Just tell him a little
uh,
bit about you.
I won't dox myself, but let's see. I went to school for economics. I worked in the automotive industry for a while. I founded and then sold a cybersecurity company, and now I work in venture capital, investing in new startups. And so I see new technology and new founders every day, and I just love that dream. So that's it.
Absolutely. Who's that? The guy. Go ahead. Go ahead. The guy. All right.
Man, you know he on that cricket Wi-Fi, man. He
Yeah.
ain't
Yeah.
ever
Yeah,
he
your
ain't
mic
got
is
no
tweaking,
signal.
bro.
Yeah.
He ain't got
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
signal.
Let me just make it clear,
Well,
Marty. I have not been
Wicked
replaced.
Wi-Fi is crazy.
yeah. 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 One second. One second here. Hey, the guy. Wait. You got about 9 minutes. Okay, and then you be on nights and weekends. You'll probably be fine then. Okay, I'll come back to you. But when we're
Yo,
doing while
yo,
we're
how
doing
you?
it,
Wow,
Yo,
while
bro.
what's
we
going on with you, man?
while,
I didn't even press the button. I didn't even press
oh no, your name was up top.
nothing,
Okay, there it is.
man. What's going?
Hey, all
Hey,
right.
Jonathan.
1 second, Dan. So
Yo, that's
go ahead, Dan. So because I want to go to Wendy. Go ahead, Dan. So because I got to Wendy
crazy. I
Butler.
didn't even press nothing.
I
Yeah,
just wanted to know, did you guys talk about the 200,000 Canadians plus that have signed a petition to revoke Elon's Canadian citizenship?
Wait, I thought y'all only had 40 million people. How, what? What? Huh?
yeah. So no, we did not speak about that. No, that's probably something that we'll probably get into some other time. But guys, we have Wendy Butler here, guys, and Wendy, I'm not gonna butcher the name of your podcast because you've been changing the name quite a few times. But guys, Wendy has a show that is going to be live tomorrow at at approximately at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wendy, you want to tell them about your podcast and who the host is going to be tomorrow?
Yes, thank you, Jonathan. Yeah, we are the Rainmakers Power Hour. For the moment, we had a little trademark issue going on, but anyway, we think that has been resolved. But yes, our co-host Daphne Christine and Credit Ninja are going to be with me tomorrow, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we have an incredible guest tomorrow, Ollie Bigler with Smarter Aircraft is going to be showcasing the most amazing private jets that he sells and talking actually about fractional ownership, how you can get into investing in private jets, making money owning private jets, things to look for, and also things to avoid for people that are trying to talk you into that. So it's going to be good. And then actually, of course, it's in Vegas. It's going to be the Harry Reid International Airport there. And Credit actually lives there. So she is going to meet him over there. So that's the cool thing that I want to say. And thank you to Nelson for coming up with this app because where else can you cam up, look at beautiful jets, and at the same time do a slideshow presentation, all the while interviewing, different guests. I mean, it's just amazing. So thank you for letting us give the shout out tonight.
No, no, guys, and you got to tell them, Wendy. So first of all, I love the jet industry, the airplane industry. Very interested in that. So I'm going to definitely be there tomorrow. But you need to tell them the time, the place, okay, and and everything else. So I'm going to toss it back to you so that you can round that out. Let them know when, where, and how.
Yeah, absolutely. We are live every Tuesday on here on Chatter. Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Money, Marketing, and Mindset channel. And like I said, that our podcast is Rainmakers Power Hour with my co-host Daphne Christine and Credit Ninja, and every single Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, right here on Chatter. So yeah, you guys jump in. It's always a good show. We have the most amazing guests. Really entrepreneurs from around the world every single week, giving us all of their secrets to success. It's amazing. I mean, seriously, it's a really good show. Hope you guys can join us.
Absolutely, guys. So I'm definitely going to be there because I'm very interested in that industry. Very interested in the private planes and the jet industry. So 100%, I'm going to be there with bells on. With that being said, who was that? There's someone who I think it was. No, we spoke to Dancehall. Who else was trying to jump in? There was someone else. Was it Rachelle?
Hey, can I say something to Wendy? I met him last year at Super Bowl. He drove me to the airport after our biohacking doctors event. He is a super nice guy.
Good stuff there. Good stuff there. All right. Anyway, getting back to the subject, guys. Getting back to the subject. Is Trump a Russian spy? Is Putin in charge of U.S. policy? Okay, so that's what we're speaking about right now. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. Trump is doing a lot of things that no U.S. president have ever done, and I don't see how this is going to work out. I'm hoping that it does, but I definitely, I don't see how it's going to work out because this goes against just us supporting freedom. We're not. It doesn't seem like we're supporting freedom anymore. We're supporting fascism. We're saying that Ukraine. I mean, Russia should be rewarded for going in and actually, you know, freaking, invading Ukraine. One thing about the French President Macron, he's the way he spoke up. He spoke up and said, "Hey, we shouldn't pay Russia. I mean, Ukraine shouldn't have to pay. Russia should pay because they're the one that it went in and they're the one that invaded." All right, man. I'm gonna tell you something. When you listen to these world leaders, all right, and I know you guys don't like Trudeau. Trudeau, he stood up, and I'm not saying I'm a fan of Trudeau, but I'm a fan of the fact that he was able to stand up for what's right. Okay, you look at Macron. You look at Mertz. Mertz was just elected on Saturday, I believe, Germany. Pretty much, he's saying that we have to distance ourselves from the U.S. Pretty much, this policy right now, and guys, I want you guys to understand something here. If the EU and Germany, okay, and Germany's the biggest member of EU, okay, guys. So they're the biggest, largest member of EU. If the EU and Germany saying that they have to distance themselves from the US, and Canada is now talking to China about some deals, all right, because they have to find other partners. All right. And Mexico is now forced to do that. Guys, these are some of the same policies we did in Africa when we left the African nations alone and China went in there and pretty much got all the mineral rights and everything else with some really bad deals. You know, when Trump is gone in 4 years, hopefully gone in 4 years, all right, because when he's gone in 4 years, how do we repair these relationships? Or do we just stay out there on an island by ourselves? Because if you think that, oh, we form an alliance with Russia, that means that we have to go along with everything that they're doing. And Russia doesn't want to see us succeed. Russia wants to see us fail. Okay, that's just like, hell, if you're a backup quarterback, you're like, yeah, he said, rah, but you want to get in, you want to get in the game. You want to be the guy. Okay, and so Russia wants to see us fail. And so, what are we doing? We're not respecting NATO. We're not respecting EU. We're not respecting Mexico. We're not respecting Canada. What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? Pretty much, our country is going to be left out there by ourselves. So, anyone wants to jump in, feel free to jump in. I heard someone came off mic. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I just want to
yeah.
add. I just always like to ask a quick question. You said, we're not respecting these countries. Have they respected us?
Okay, next question. Who was that? Who else was about to jump in? Who was that? Who else?
This is just Scott. I just want to
You guys
share
go.
something that I've heard from talking to people overseas, right, in different countries. I've heard this from a Canadian. I've heard this from someone in Denmark, and I've heard this from someone in India, all within the last week or last 2 weeks. And I really want the people here who are liberals and the people here who are conservatives to really think about this fully. And that is, all three of them said the same thing to me, and that is, last time you guys elected Trump, it was different. But this time, you elected him, and he has all these different pieces of your government, right? They don't really know. They don't really know the pieces because they're foreigners, right? He said he's every piece of government. So don't say you don't agree with him because you elected him. You did that, right? So I mean, it's a very different attitude out there today, guys. I mean, we will not, we won't be able to say like, oh, we're a republic, we're an experiment in democracy, which has like been America's line for the last 250 years. No, they're like, you chose him and you chose everybody here, and you better stand by him because that's who we believe you are now. So these alliances are not going to be easily repaired. It's not going to be easily repaired. These are permanent changes that are happening today, and they will affect our children. That's what's going to happen.
Bro,
I
you act like
land.
you dropped a bomb or you dropped the mic or
Yeah,
something
bro.
like that. Like come on, bro.
Come
Facts,
on,
bro.
Are
like,
you
man.
you know what I'm
aware
saying?
he
So
just
hold
Yeah,
left
on
let me.
one second,
I
right?
Clubhouse?
want to
One
jump
Yeah,
second.
in.
yeah.
I want to jump in a minute.
Go LS, go LS. That's a new voice. Let's go
Let's get
LS.
Big
Alex. All
mic
right, go
drop.
ahead, bro.
I'm gonna say one thing, Skull, and I know me and you know that you're an economist. Do you think something has to do with the 36 trillion? Because let's be real, right? For economics, when everything's going right in America, so to speak, domestically, we're not as concerned about DoD budgets or any budgets. And I'm not saying Trump's doing everything right. Let me be very, very clear. Maybe doing a lot of shit wrong. But do you think that's the game on an asymmetric warfare playing field?
Yeah, I mean, well, that is the thing, right? And you look at that 36 million, and we talked about this in other shows,
No,
right?
I mean 36 trillion, trillion.
Yeah,
Let's
sorry,
be clear.
36
So
trillion. But we look at that, right? And we've talked about this in other shows where I said, well, I think Doge is doing things a little fast. But I always use the word a little, and I always said they're being a little fast, not too fast. Because if you just look at the math of this, by 2030, we are going to have the majority of our budget is going to be used to pay down our debt. So we have to make some pretty rapid changes, or else we're just going to be paying off our credit card, right? That's going to be our entire tax bill. It's going to be
Can I
paying off
ask
our
a
freaking credit card
question?
on a national level.
Can I
So
ask a question?
we do have to make some big changes quickly,
Wait, if
and
for a
but I don't know
pause.
how this political policy is going to actually help
Okay.
us.
Nobody's gonna help me. Okay.
That
Okay,
I
who's
think
that
that's
speak?
somebody from Clubhouse. Is that? Go ahead.
No, I wanted to pause before he went any further to quantify what do you refer to as some, and then right after say what was the other word? Many? Like you just basically you're saying things that sound like a little bit, but also sounds like a lot. Like like that type of language or use of verbiage is not concise for you to
Okay,
leave room for
let me
it to
let,
be
let me make it really
smaller so
concise for
that
you. We
you
don't have the 7 years that Bill Clinton had in his omnibus spending budget, but we also have more than 35 days, which is how much like they have tried to cut the government down,
so
right? So there's some
you're
sort of
trying to
middle
make
of
me
the
say that days is close
there's some
to
sort of middle of the
7
road
years.
period where in the next one to
Oh
two
Lord.
calendar years we
Nah,
could have got this budget
hold
under
on. I
control,
would
and we
like
wouldn't
to
have crazy
understand your
things happening like our
spiel.
national parks being empty, right? We wouldn't have crazy
Who
things
gives a
happening like
shit?
that.
Because there's only white people who go to the national parks all the goddamn time. I gotta
Okay,
work.
yo,
I ain't got
yo,
Well,
fucking time to
Clubhouse,
sit
clearly
my
Clubhouse,
you ain't
Clubhouse,
never
face
been
Clubhouse,
to
in the
one.
fucking
Clubhouse, Clubhouse,
national park.
Clubhouse.
What are you talking
This,
about?
No, JD, nah, leave it because she clearly ain't never been to one. So let's just hear what she got to say. Let's just hear what she's got.
Marty.
She's
Hold on,
clearly
hold
never
on.
been to.
yo, no, man, it's a full fucking moon tonight. It's a full moon tonight.
No, it's
I'm
a new
sitting
moon.
here.
It's a new moon. It's a new moon. Skull, are you aware that they moved us to 89 seconds to nuclear midnight?
Clubhouse. Take care of that. Take care of that, Clubhouse.
Got it.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. All right.
Can I speak
Yeah,
now?
CH. Make sure you guys. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Wow. Fucking full moon. Ay. Danielle,
Yes.
is this the best you can do in picking out guests? You and you selected these guests.
What do you mean?
It's all your fault, Danielle.
You
Don't
selected these
blame me for
guests.
this. Don't blame me for this
Listen,
shit, okay?
this is one of y'all
I'm staying
faults.
cute. I'm staying cute on mute, okay?
This is one of y'all faults. Y'all done brought all the crazies out tonight. I don't know what the hell is
Yeah.
going on in here.
And Jonathan,
Yeah.
they all Republicans, so they all Team Storm.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
What
Absolutely
the
Says
not.
the one who's
hell?
never canned
Oh
up.
my God, fucking Temu Jasmine Crockett's got to fucking chime in every single fucking time.
Oh my gosh.
Patriot, Rob, I'm gonna let you make it this time. Try me again.
Oh my god.
Ooh, this
Yo, absolutely, guys.
Wait,
So
wait,
guy.
wait. What did you say? Say that again.
She
She said she
said
gonna let you make it this time.
she said you
She's
got
gonna
one
let
more
me
time,
make it
Patriot
this
Rob,
time.
and it's
okay.
up.
Yeah,
So
try
anyway,
me
I
again.
don't
Try
speak
me
I'll
again.
Ebonics.
repeat it for her.
How
Why
about come at me with
you
some
speak
English?
white trash because you speak white trash. That's
Oh
what
no!
you do.
All right,
guys,
Jasmine
one mic,
Crockett
guys, one mic, guys.
via
Look, one,
Temu.
one second, guys, 1 second, because we can't do that, man. We got people out, got people all around the world listening, man. That's not what we represent here. Absolutely. Let's keep this thing moving. Hey, man, oh man, my Disney Plus,
So, Jonathan, I got a question for you, bro. Is Temu better than fucking Dollar Store?
well, my Tim, I don't know. Well,
Who
I
you
say
who
my
Would
you
you
Disney
rather be
Plus.
a Dollar Store
you're not
Jasmine Crockett
lame,
or a
bro.
Temu
You a
Jasmine
lame,
Crockett?
bro.
I don't know
You
what's
a
better.
lame.
What's the
Temu
the
again.
hierarchy here? Is Temu
I'll say
better than Dollar
Temu.
Store?
Temu.
I
How
You're
think
about
a
Temu?
Temu.
lame.
Temu's cheaper.
Timu.
Timu.
Temu's cheaper.
T-Moo.
Timu. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. You
How
get
about
more for
this?
your
He's a
buck.
Get it
It's
lame.
better.
right.
It's
It's
better
not
than trademark. Where
Timu.
you from? White trash.
What? Oh, wait
I
a
don't
minute.
live in a
Did I
Yeah, he's
fucking
just told you
lame,
trailer
bro.
something?
park.
He's y'all know
Did I
he a
just told you
lame.
something? Oh my god! All right, guys, listen to me,
That's
man.
fucking hilarious.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Ah,
First of
yeah,
all,
yeah, 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 yeah.
one mic, guys.
Moving
One mic.
along.
One mic.
These
One mic.
triggered libs.
One mic.
They
One
make me
mic.
laugh,
One
Jonathan.
mic,
They
please.
do.
One mic. One mic. So anyway, my Disney Plus subscription went up. Okay, so I'm dealing with that. So let's get this thing back on track. Okay. Yeah. Damn you, Disney. Mekey, are you there, Mekey?
I canceled
Mekey
mine
going
last year,
twice.
dude.
Talking about
I told
trigger.
them,
He the main one that was triggered and left
Yo,
the
yo, yo,
room.
Headline.
Cut it out,
headlines.
Hey,
buddy.
no, I didn't
drop
leave the
drop
room.
headline. Drop headline.
I did need to correct something real quick,
Go
Jonathan.
ahead.
Earlier, I said it was $16.81 for a stick of butter. That was a 4 pack. That was 4 sticks of butter. So they're paying $4.20 per stick of butter. That's still way higher. I mean, you can get 4 sticks of butter here for way less than $16.81, guys. I mean,
Yeah,
it's like there's like $4 here for
I'm
four
I'm gonna
sticks.
let you live, but we fact checking you on Storm's team.
I
We'll
like
Boom,
that.
Diana.
we'll take the L tonight,
Hey, thank you
but
for admitting.
we're
Whoa,
gonna be
whoa, whoa,
fact
whoa,
checking
whoa.
you.
Excuse you
Yeah,
on
the
your take the L
disinformation,
tonight. Ain't
misinformation
nobody
crew.
take whoa.
One
But
more mic,
anyways,
guys.
let's
One
keep it
mic, guys.
going.
You guys, come on. Co-host. You guys cannot speak while someone else is speaking. You guys clearly hear her speaking. Let's not do that. Go ahead, Diana.
Nah, listen, man. We'll be back tomorrow. But I'm fact checking because your buddy there, Skald, he leans left. You called him your right hand, but he's definitely that left side. We gotta come back tomorrow, y'all. We're gonna take that L tonight.
Wait, Diana,
Abs-
let me ask you: are you defending what Trump is doing?
Listen,
Like,
I'm part of the Laborer Party. I'm independent. I believe
okay,
that we voted with Israel today, and that's because Trump is working on the path to peace, not whatever these other 93 countries signed off on.
all right,
It
but
got
when they say that
Wait,
Ukraine started the war,
whoa.
like, hold on, Shauna,
Diana.
hold on, Shauna. When he says that the rhetoric of Ukraine starting the war, do you resonate with that, Diana?
You know what's interesting about what you just said? That was Tira that came in Dateline and said that Trump quoted Ukraine started the war. When you go back and hear that clip, he did not say the word Ukraine. He is not saying that Russia didn't started the war or that Ukraine. He's giving equal blame, in my opinion. He's playing both sides. He wants to stop the war. He wants to go on peace. And if he's this apocalyptic leader that you guys come in and try to shove down our throat day after day, then guess what? We're all going to be here on Debate the News and watching it together because I don't buy it yet. You guys conflate some of this stuff and it's okay. Now we got our eyes on you and we're going to keep fact checking.
I think we just turned that into a W, Diane. You rock.
Let's go, Patriot Rob.
Boom.
So can Clubhouse? I have Francis on Clubhouse that wants
CH,
to
you got
go.
somebody on CH over there?
Yeah, Francis, you here?
Go, go. Francis going twice. All right. So with
Dead in
that
the
being,
water. Let's keep it going.
yeah, let's keep this thing going, guys. Yeah, listen to me. Let me just say this, Diana. He did say Ukraine. In fact, he said it again today. All right, and the French president had to step in and correct them right there in real time. So please, guys, let's not come
You mean
here.
the dude that's married to a tranny, Jonathan? We're gonna take advice from him? Fuck off.
Yeah, well, no, what I'm talking about is the French president. So he stepped
Yeah,
in
he's
real
married to a
time.
tranny.
It's on the stage now.
So
He.
Jonathan, why you don't cut him off when he cut you
Okay,
off,
well,
bro?
okay. Get
Yo,
yo,
headline, bro.
get him out, get him out. Go. Okay. Once again, I see tomorrow headline. Love you, bro. Love the content, just not for me right now. So what else? Listen to me. This fucking guy. Yeah, listen to me. Dude. He corrected him in real time. So, Diana, when you're saying that, the point that I'm making here, Diana, is you're saying that he didn't say it. He has said it. He has said it on many different occasions. Okay, the Republican senators has jumped in and have corrected him and said they disagree with him. Several Republican senators have done that, and congressmen, as well as world leaders. And he did say it in front of Macron today, and Macron jumped in front, stood up and said, "No, that's not correct." All right, and he corrected him today. So, guys, you gotta be careful when you say stuff like that, Diana, because it's fact check and people are listening to you on this podcast, and they know that when Diana Rosero speak, I said that whole damn name, so they don't confuse you with Diana Ross or Diana Princess Diana. They know when they come over here, they know who put that misinformation out. It was you. So that's all I gotta say. No, Diana, he did in fact say that. Just want to put that out there.
I'll go
And
and listen to see what he said during the French press conference because he did not say it the last time that we reported that he did.
I know
I'm
that
quite certain
he
he did.
said it. I listened to him, and I listened to it in French because I was with my parents.
What did
And
he say exactly, Shauna?
no, Macron had to correct him in French with the English subtitle, but he said that Ukraine didn't. He said that they did start the war, and they didn't.
So yeah,
What if
so
Damn.
I'm just
I'm
tell.
I'm
I'm
just
just.
saying, what if he thinks that they did by not making a deal? And if Trump is here able to make a deal, what is wrong with him bringing everybody to the table? That's what I've always had a challenge with, especially
I,
when everyone lost their mind when Ukraine wasn't invited to have the first talks,
Well, I
right?
think that was what everybody was so upset up is if he's going to bring everybody to the table, right? Using your words, not in a harsh way, but if you're going to bring everybody to the table, then you bring everybody to the table. You don't go and kiss Putin's baby toe and then decide and say all those negative things about Ukraine and then turn around and say, okay, now we're going to make peace and bring everybody to the table.
But
You,
Trump said
you
that was going to be the first conversation, Shauna. I didn't see anything bad with him saying, okay, I'm going to have the first conversations here. Let's see how it goes. He came out multiple times and said, let's see how it goes. And then when Zelensky,
but then he said negative things about Zelensky.
listen, I
I
mean, we
think
say
that
negative
I
things
think
here all the time. Just because he thinks he's a dictator and acted like one doesn't mean he doesn't want peace for both countries.
Good job, Shauna. She just can't face the fact that she took a L
no,
yesterday.
no, no.
She took
I
an L
wasn't
right
here when.
now because again, I'm bringing it back to my initial question. I know I was right.
yeah.
I said,
One second, guys. One second. I want to go to Francis. Francis, are you there, Francis?
Yes,
Francis going
Jonathan, I'm here.
twice.
I'm
Go
here. I'm
ahead.
here. I'm
Jump
here.
in.
So I want to make 3 points. Please, please, please do not cut me off. Let me land my plane. So first of all, didn't Hillary lose for some Russian collusion emails? Like, wasn't that a thing? And now we're all like all over like Russia. Second thing, the minute that a new currency that's gonna beat the dollar is out, the United States has no power. The only power that we have is our currency because it's the highest almost in the world, except the euro. And then we have military bases all over the world except some countries. We still have a blockade on Cuba and a bunch of countries that can't even feed themselves. The reason we have a bunch of Venezuelans in this country is because we ruined theirs and we killed their dictator. And the minute that Brazil, Russia, India, China, South America make that new currency, dollar's not gonna worth anything, and this country is gonna be a third world country. I land my plane.
Oh,
Yeah,
why? So one mic, guys, one mic. Let's let that breathe for a minute, okay? When someone comes up and says something that profoundly stupid, you gotta let it breathe, okay? And she didn't want to get cut off, and and I don't even know if we should use the airtime that we have to even correct that shit. Maybe we should just chalk it up as the comedy portion of our show. But
Jonathan,
but
you too
but
much, man. That's so
but
needed.
yeah, yeah, you're right, right, Chris, right, Chris. We needed that, right? And like
Oh
that.
yeah, we
That's
need it. We need an interlude, man.
yo,
so.
JB, I can't breathe over here, man. We
Yo,
definitely needed
Marty,
that.
man, you come
We
on, bro.
needed that.
We both put our hood on. We
We need.
both had a.
You saved Diana because I was handing her that L and you cut me
Oh
off
my
for that. It's
gosh,
okay though.
man, oh man, listen to me.
Oh God.
Yeah, let's just this right. We're not gonna be a third world country. BRICS, the currency is never gonna be trusted. Okay, there may be something to replace the U.S. dollar, but it's certainly not gonna be BRICS. Okay, and Hillary did not have Russian emails. Emails, man, oh man, that right there was a masterpiece on how to fuck up on a stage and say all things wrong. So it
JB,
was.
can I hop in? Let's chat.
Yeah, go
Point
ahead,
after
chat.
point after
Girl,
point.
yeah, you better clean that shit up because
No, you're
you
wrong. She
lobby for
ain't.
her to get on stage. Go ahead.
And I did. I'm going to take a hit on that one, man. I'm sorry, y'all. Here's the thing, though. Y'all know I'm a veteran. And I am not quite sure if y'all have talked about this because I've been in and out of the room. But all of these moves that we're making, y'all know people, we have service members that are all across the globe. Y'all do understand that, right? Did y'all hear some feedback in the sound?
Yeah, yeah, I'm hearing feedback. I'm trying to figure out where
I'm
it's coming
hearing
from.
feedback too.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
I'll
it.
come over there because I don't want to ruin the listener
Yeah,
experience.
okay,
I
so
saw Jonathan. I saw at one point Vashawn's mic was unmuted. I
no, no,
don't
no,
know.
no. No. We're moving on. We're moving on. That was
No,
done.
I
Okay.
meant from the
Anyway,
feedback. Okay,
no, no,
sorry,
I know that we're
Marty.
moving on. We're moving on, guys. Please don't. All right, so yeah, absolutely, man. So anyone else wants to jump in on this because is Trump a Russian spy? Trump's moves, Trump's behaviors. Anyone else wants to jump in on this at all? The mic's open because um, Diana, you got saved by that one, man. I
Listen,
think
I'm
Diana.
fact checking right now. I
Nah,
swear to
Diana,
you, if he
you
didn't
call
say
Francis.
it,
You call Francis up and told Francis to get over here. I know you did.
Yo, yo,
if this man King Trump didn't say that Ukraine was responsible specifically, if he didn't say that in the French press today, I'm coming back tomorrow. I'm gonna come back swinging tomorrow.
I
Oh
knew
my
Hillary
All right,
gosh.
I'm
knew
here. Can y'all hear
Go,
me?
lose.
go,
I
Is this
knew it.
yeah, we
better?
can hear you now.
go
No
ahead, Carlos.
feedback.
I want to go to Carlos and then we're gonna go to you. Go ahead, Carlos.
Okay.
Can you
No, I just said that I knew Hillary had something to do with that Russian collusion in them emails. I knew that was them emails. Now.
all right, chat, we're gonna pass this over to you. Go ahead, chat.
Yeah, so no, what I was saying was I'm still laughing. Y'all crazy. But the thing about it though is all of these changes that are being made. I don't know if we understand that we're putting service members in harm's way. I'm a veteran. Serve this country in military intelligence and I don't know if we understand how much all of these policy changes, how the appearance of our alliances with the UN, like how that is changing. Like you literally have troops, right? Because I used to be one of them that was near the DMZ, near North Korea, right? Like literally, that we could see the DMZ from where we were stationed. And you all, I don't know if we're understanding the implications of how that can affect troop movement, our future, if we feel safe, if we feel like we're doing, what our mission was set out to do. All of it, I don't know. This man is just making all these decisions, and I don't know if he understands the impact that it has on the everyday American and the soldier that got their boots on the ground. I don't know, and to me, it's dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. It's very dangerous because our allies don't know how. Guys, we have bases and these allies. They don't know how to treat us now. They don't know how to handle us, and so I agree with you on that. And so once again, we have soldiers all over. We got soldiers serving in coalition forces with these allies that we're going against right now. It just doesn't. I don't know where this is going. Anyone, any Trumpers, and anyone here have an idea where Trump is heading with this? Anyone have any thoughts on that? Anyone at all? Oh, so it's not defensible. You guys disagree with it. All right. So no, chat.
Wait,
I agree with.
disagree with what? Because isn't him voting, so isn't he trying to make sure that if any more money goes to Ukraine, that now it is going to be backed by some form of repayment instead of grant money? Because I think people will appreciate us being able to be more strategic with grant money, right? Maybe starting over here.
It's not grant money. It's called for. It's foreign aid. Let's start
They
there.
literally called it grant money.
Okay, let me say this right here. And most of that money, believe it or not, it comes back to us. It comes back to our country because they give them the money. They don't even give them the money. They use the money to buy weaponry and stuff from us. So it's
Which is
helping
what
our
Trump doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to do that anymore. We
it's
understand
helping
that,
our
right?
economy. It's helping our economy. So
But their
um,
minerals will help the economy too.
misinformation, Diana. Yeah, I get it. Once again, the United States has never strong armed anyone, guys. That's not going to be our policy going forward. All right, guys. 30 days. No one ever moved this fast. Moving this fast. I don't know why they're moving this fast. There's no reason to move this fast. So for
To
whatever
give
reason,
y'all whiplash.
you do know that Hitler was able to take over Germany in less than 2 months.
Hey, Jonathan.
Yes,
I,
Ink. Let's do it.
what's up, big dog? Hey, look. So check this out. So what I'm not understanding about the foreseeing of you guys is saying that he's gonna do this, he's gonna fuck up the allies and all this stuff. And during term within his first presidency, we didn't get any new wars. We weren't beefing with no whole bunch of people. So it's almost as if you guys have said he's lost his ability to um to make deals, and that's what he does best. Like everyone knows that. Like you can't even take it away from him. So what I'm asking is, where in your mind do you see him starting a war and jumping a war off,
I don't know.
and why?
So we're talking about negotiate his negotiation skills like Trump University, Trump Ice, Trump Air, Trump Water, Trump Steaks, all that stuff. So we start talking about negotiation. Let me see. I'm not going to take anything away from the guy. The guy, his real estate portfolio, New York real estate, you can't go wrong. All right, New York real estate, you can't go wrong. All right. So I'm not gonna take that away from him at all. But what I will say to you is this right here. Um, him negotiating. This is not his shit to negotiate. It's not. Okay. This is hell. This is supposed to be him forcing Russia and Ukraine to the table to negotiate. All right. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I will be as an American, as a red-blooded American. Okay. I'm not no second generation. You know what I'm saying? My grandpa came over on a boat, from anywhere. Ireland, Italy, Kenya, whatever. No, I'm not. I've been here for a minute, Inc. All right. As a red-blooded American, I will be freaking pissed if the EU allows Ukraine to give up one freaking mile of land. All right. I will be pissed. I will be livid. So that's keeping it real. I'm keeping it 100 with you, okay? Because we don't sign off, because once we do that, then Taiwan, we have to deal with Taiwan, because then the Chinese say, "Oh, we'll get some land," and we start dealing with other countries invading other countries because they know that there's a possibility it ends with land. So no, I'm not for that at all, at all. And I don't think no American should be for that. None. I land. Go ahead, Ink.
Yeah. I still think in the way that I see it personally is like it's a tactic to get both of these sides to get on one accord so that things can get back balanced out from a perspective of the only reason that we're in this war is because two sides couldn't figure it out. And what he's doing is being that medium to come in, figure the shit out. Let's shut all the goofy shit down. Let's stop killing people, because if you don't see that this president that we have isn't for the death thing. It's like fuck all the killing people and people being put in certain situations based on the push and allowing of self mutilation. And I know that's kind of a stretch of what I was talking about, but basically what I'm saying is that in my mind and listening and watching what's going on, this is not a president of death and war. Like he doesn't seem like that type of person. To me, it seems like he a damn old ass man that's done got everything. He done got all his money. He done achieved all his accomplishment and act like that nigga just want to go out with a bang and say I'm the best that ever did it. That's how I see it.
You know what?
Jonathan, I want to add
Good.
in when you're done. Go ahead.
LS, go ahead. I'm gonna give you a little bite at it, man. I don't want we don't want normal LS.
I'm
I
gonna be
want.
quick. I'll try to be
Yeah, go
quick.
ahead.
Look,
Go ahead. Go ahead,
it's,
LS.
it's, it's asymmetric in tech. And if we talk about wars, the biggest war, this is on Bloomberg today, so this is the news. The biggest manufacturer of drones in the world for most countries, Western countries, is China. I think that's why Elon's by his side. I think we're going into a tech war that's asymmetric. I'm done.
Okay. All right. So anyway, with that being said, hey guys, um, you know what, guys, listen to me. First and foremost, I love it when we come in here and debate the news. Is Trump a Russian spy? Lord knows, I hope not, but he's pretty suspect. Is Putin in charge of our domestic policy? Our moves look like there's some moves that Putin will want. So, I can't say yes, I can't say no. I can say I hope not, but this is not an America that I had ever thought I would see. So I hope I'm wrong about what I'm thinking. I'm not saying that he is a spy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying the moves are very suspect, and it's not beneficial to us. Marty Bird, how you doing? First of all, how you feel today, man?
Oh,
How did it go today?
man, absolutely amazing. Amazing show tonight. Amazing. I feel great. It was a great day. This was an amazing podcast. Dude, tonight was awesome, man.
You got to shout
Absolutely
Danielle out,
entertaining.
right? Getting all these guests, these wonderful
Dude,
guests
we,
from talking about.
oh, yeah.
Danielle, how you doing tonight, Danielle? By the way,
I can't-
I'm fantastic, JB. I'm fantastic.
what's the name of that latest episode you got dropped?
Uh, the latest episode that we got dropped is. Let me get it. Way to like put me on the spot, JB.
I'm talking about for your podcast.
Okay. Well, my podcast. So the latest drop was today. I had Sarah Fraserman on, who also has a podcast called The Sarah Fraserman Show. And she is just an audio influencer. She handles all of the pop culture, type of stuff going on. So it was an incredible interview. She's hilarious. So check her out on the podcast, Amplify You podcast.
Amplify You, and where can they find it?
On Apple, Spotify, all the ways that you listen to your shows.
Absolutely, guys. Danielle is phenomenal, guys. Doesn't get enough credit, man. Nothing but love for Danielle. My man Skull. Skull, where are you, Skull? Skull going twice.
I'm here. I'm here.
What say you, man? What do you have to say before we sign out here?
Well, I just want to say that, there's been some people in the chat saying, oh, the most heavily vetted man, et cetera, et cetera. I hear all these arguments, but, I just got to say, just sit back and look at the actions, right? Sometimes people's actions speak louder than their words. And I just think you have to look at the actions that these individuals are taking. And that's where I land.
All right. Appreciate your Skull. 100% there, man. Hey, guys, listen to me, guys. Hey, if you've been listening to us here in the audience, the live audience, hey, guys, do us a favor. Click the link up top. All right. Follow the podcast. Download, I don't know, 10, 15 episodes, guys. Come on, please. Please, Dog Got Bag. Dog Got Bag, please. All right, download 10 or 15 episodes. And guys, and make sure that you guys follow the podcast. Leave a review. Also, if you're listening to us out there on any of the podcast platforms, the Spotify's, Apple, everywhere else, Overcast, Pandora, we got you finally. Uh, guys, I don't know why I'm excited about that, but just you got it. Email. But anyway, with that being said, hey guys, download some more episodes and share with your friends, guys. Let your friends know that you're here listening to these podcasts, and also if you're in the audience, let your friends know that you participate in these live shows as well. That'd be great. But guys, listen to me. Make sure you guys download that Chatter app, okay? The Chatter social app, and you can download that on either Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, folks. Let me just say this to you right now. All right, this is it. This is real. This app is freaking phenomenal. Okay, this app is phenomenal. It allows us all to get together. People from diverse backgrounds come in here every night, and we have these discussions on camera, off camera, guys. And it's very, very interactive. It's probably one of the best apps I've had the pleasure of being part of. But you can download this app once again on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store, guys. It's Chatter Social. The website is chattersocial.io. Guys, I want to say this right here. I enjoyed being here. I can't wait to be back and do this again, folks. But until then, folks, I want to say thank you guys for coming out. Definitely appreciate you guys coming out and sharing your time with us. You had headlines jumping in. You had TC, Snorky Puppy, Patriot Rob, Rachelle, Mekey, my man Skald, my man Marty Bryd. We had Chad at the end. You know what, Francis? Francis, I'm gonna say your name because you were the most entertaining, most uninformed, but I loved it, man. Until next time, guys, we'll see you guys back here tomorrow, same time, same place, on the Chatter Social app. You guys have been listening to nothing other than Debate the News, the podcast. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Rest in peace, Roberta Flack.